rid of all your wealth, rid of all your fame. When your time has come, you won't have a name. Rid of all your wealth, rid of all your fame. When your time has come, you won't have a name.
Welcome everybody back to the Bag Brigade podcast. we have we got another special returning guest, Mr. Cheeseburger, Chicken Burger, whatever the hell you want to call him. You know.
Yeah,
Huh?
that works.
Now your internet's
Yeah.
getting a little choppy. I heard it there for a second. And we have the
Oh, really? Yeah, shit.
co-host of the old Tiz Talk podcast and now the Bag Brigade podcast, Mr. Too Woke to Go Baroque. What's up, dog?
Oh, not much, man. Just chilling. Put the baby down for a nap, man, or sleep now. So hopefully he'll go down for a bit.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier today. Been too many distractions with these with the babies and these futures.
Oh, fuck. God, don't get me started.
Man. All right. Well, this is going to be what now the third episode of the Bag Brigade podcast because both of y'all weren't on the last one. The last one I did with
What was the last one? What'd you do? Who
I
was
in,
it?
I interviewed two of the younger guys from my Discord server, trading server. They're like 18 or whatever.
Oh,
I just
shit.
wanted to get their perspective on like what trading is to that, like just get it what it's like to be that young and have access to like trading
That
futures.
young and that
Well,
rich.
we didn't have it. Shit, when we were that age, you had to fucking call a broker. Maybe you could get it on your computer. I mean, we weren't trading
Yeah.
options, that's for fucking sure.
Yeah.
So,
I
anyways,
was
I just wanted their
broke.
perspective
I was
on it.
broker back then. Get it?
Yes.
Get it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, what's
I don't
up,
get
dude?
it. No, not
You heard
nothing.
Trump spit? You heard they're eating the dogs over there?
Yeah, dogs and cats. Dogs and
Over.
cats. Your internet. Dogs and
Oh my God. What'd y'all think?
what
What'd you think
about the
about
debate?
the
The
first
debate?
debate?
That was the
Were you
second
on
debate.
mushrooms again?
I think it's the.
Yes, I was. I
The
did.
fir-
It's like a thing now. I'm gonna take boomers every time just because fuck these boomers. It's just like me
Yeah, you're
saying
gonna take bloomers for the boomers.
boomers for the boomers, bro.
Well, I think it's going to be the only debate, isn't it?
That's what
Yeah,
they
fucking
said.
Trump's
He said
being a
he's
little
done.
bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
Cheeseburger hates Cheeseburger is so anti-MAGA. It's so funny to me. It's like,
I
So
mean, how could you
political.
not be, dude? He's such a
dude, as
it's
we said before, we don't give a fuck about this shit. It's a puppet show to me. It's all comedy. It doesn't matter to me who wins the presidency. I'm sorry. It just to me it doesn't. I'm telling you, I'm green, baby. I only
It's all a
ride for
big
the color
distraction from
green.
what they're doing. Like they just did. The biggest decisions get made regardless. Like we just had a rate cut while everything's going fine, but these boomers they want to just fucking scrape every penny out of the fucking markets and shit that they
Yeah.
can, no
Do you
matter
even
what it costs us.
Cheeseburger, do you even
yeah.
understand like the implications of what happened yesterday with this 50 basis
I
point?
mean, it was like what, a quarter percent rate
No, it
cut or
was
some
it
bullshit.
was 0.5%, 50 basis point.
Okay.
But like, do you understand like the implications? Do you understand like,
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a little bit cheaper to borrow money, right?
well, yes. I mean, in a very simple way to put it, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to
But
put it in a simple way for me.
I
Well,
understand.
the thing that's not simple about it is like inflation's still higher than the goal rate. Like it's come down a lot, but it's still higher than the goal rate. And we already had all this inflation over the last few years. So like it compounds on itself, you know what I mean? So it's like a matter of if you just went through 20% and now you're still like 50% higher than you want to be going forward, that's even more inflation on top of old inflation. You know what I mean? So
Oh,
it's
okay. So
like,
when you lower rates, inflation rises. Is that the
well,
deal?
not necessarily
Well,
always, but in this case, like they're doing it while inflation's still higher than they really have historically wanted it. So it's
correct.
like
Okay.
it's just greedy. It's greedy right now. Like,
Well,
and it's trying to like
Yeah.
stave off and like it's I think it's trying to stave off a cooling job market, um, and then
there,
potentially
Oh,
help like a lot of other issues that are going on, like with real estate, like we talked about last time. But all in all, it's just greedy. Like it's like
you're right. It is. I agree with
so
that.
you'd rather not see a rate cut right now?
I
Well,
just don't think it's necessary.
me too.
Okay.
I didn't think it was necessary, and I only say that because the economy is still strong. Okay. Yes, the revisions on the job reports and all that stuff have been out of this world, off the charts. Like that shit blows my mind. But still, the economy's booming. You know,
Wait, what does that mean? That means there's low unemployment right now?
like so
Low
what they're
unemployment, stocks
doing
are
is
high, corporate earnings are high.
they always put they always put out jobs data like jobless claims, the jolts, the non-farm payrolls, all this stuff that every
Yeah.
month, and every month they come out with the numbers of unemployment rate or whatever, and then when the next month comes, they report the number, but then they also bring back the revised numbers from the month before, and it was much worse than it actually was. And they've been doing that every single month of 2024. They have revised all that data.
By like 20 to 25%
It's
every single month.
insane. It's insane. It's all, dude. It's such a. It's almost like it's. I mean, it is a rigged game. I mean, this shit's all rigged.
But
Yeah.
basically the point is like usually you don't see like this kind of happens when things are getting like already kind of hitting the fan, like usually they don't like make moves like this unless it's like, oh shit, like so it's kind of sending like a funny market message to everybody as well. Like what
Well,
does it
they
say
cut in COVID. They cut 50 basis points first, right?
yeah,
The
yeah.
50 basis point cut. That was because that was shit hit the fan. Shit isn't
So I
hitting the
guess I mean we got
fan.
on a tangent, but the point is it doesn't matter who the fucking president is, man. They're gonna
Well,
do what they're gonna do.
Well, maybe not financially, but
it,
like for
it,
other things, it does, right? It
well,
does
wasn't it?
matter.
It's not a tangent.
I mean, it's still
It,
Congress, that does everything. So the president's kind of just represents, like, I
well, it's
guess,
not even
who feels
Congress.
in charge for 4 years. Like somebody gets to feel in
It's the people
charge.
like the Koch brothers behind the curtains that are basically running the show. Okay,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
at least
Hey,
the right.
I'm looking for some Koch brothers if y'all know, you know.
Well,
um,
I know plenty of Koch brothers. I don't fuck with that shit.
Okay, wait. Let's talk. So who? Okay, y'all watched the debate? Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, she won
on
the
mushrooms
debate. It was.
again. It was wild.
I'll tell you this: like, she won the debate, and she did it without having to say anything. And I was telling him like it's crazy that your opponent's weakness is like that they don't have any policy, really right now. And
Yeah.
you come and you don't provide any, and then you just say stupid shit and just lose on the emotional side. Like it's probably one of the worst debate performances in modern history, I'd say, in my
You
opinion.
mean for both of them or for Trump?
Well, for Trump especially, but she
Yeah.
just did what she had to do, and he didn't
She
do
just.
anything to upset what she was trying to do. Like she came in, and he didn't do anything that made her maneuver out of her game plan. Like she just stood there, kept it cool, smiled, and then didn't have to come with any answers on like any real policy. So she
Yeah.
won. Like that's exactly
Yeah.
what
I
best case
think.
scenario
Well,
for
I.
her.
ABC did
Yeah.
ABC, basically, in my opinion,
What did
kind
you
of
think like about
teamed
ABC?
up
Like
on. I mean, excuse me,
I mean,
ABC
I
did a
don't know.
horrible job of coordinating that fucking thing. Personally,
Why? What? Why was it so bad?
first of all, why didn't they didn't even ask one the one I think important question is to both of them. What are you going to do about the GDP to debt situation? That didn't even get brought up. Okay, that's a huge deal. Didn't even get brought up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
They
know. I
started talking
guess it's
about
only like
eating
an hour and a half
cats
for.
and dogs and shit like
Well,
that. It's like
well,
what?
I think what Kamala did. I think she was coached to like bait Trump, and get him off message because he's like easily like you can rattle him. I think, and I think that's what she did. She came out and she was like, people leave his fucking rallies and his crowds aren't big or whatever. She just said shit that would get him off track, and then that's when he started talking about eating dogs and cats, and
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
you know what I mean?
I think that
well, I'll
like
tell you what, it was pretty funny to me to hear that in my state of mind.
That was the most ridiculous
honestly,
thing I've
like
ever heard
I
in a
think she
debate.
did get him like a little. I think with that question, she did get him like maybe like it was like good bait and he took it. But honestly, it seemed like his plan is what he did, which was just come in and hammer about fucking immigrants the whole time. Like that was
Yeah.
pretty much what he
Well,
took it back to every
well,
single question.
that's like his
Um,
strongest point against her, right? Because
well,
she
that
was quote
Afghanistan,
unquote
I
like,
thought
yeah, that,
Afghanistan
yeah.
too, and inflation and shit. Even though he was responsible for a lot of it as well, but it's just like that. You're in charge, you take the blame for it. So inflation, but he went back to like fucking immigration, like no
Well,
matter what the question was,
well,
and
that's
it
like
just got
that's like the
absurd.
red meat that he's just like feeding his base. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, for
He's
sure.
Well,
just like he's just like Mexicans and Haitians are
well,
taking
Well,
your
he didn't ever
job.
even. Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean,
he
But
he didn't
was
yeah, yeah,
he
actually
yeah.
said the
say
border. He
Haitians.
said border. He said the word. He used the word border. The border was, perfect.
Oh,
Was
well, yeah, the
was
border over and
excellent
over
when I
again.
was the border
Yeah,
was
yeah.
excellent when I was in office.
Well,
And
my question is this: is like, what do these debates really do? You think I was telling I
nothing.
think it was my mom. I was just like, look, I mean, at the end of the day, is anybody actually changing their vote? I think the best case scenario was like people maybe saw Kamala and would get off their ass to vote for her if they weren't going to before. Maybe some people are like, oh, she's all right.
Well, I
But
think
other
there's
than that,
a well,
I don't
it's
think
like
too many
our fucking
minds were changed. You know what I mean?
well, I think there's a small sliver of undecided voters, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like they're mainly Republican voters that just like don't feel comfortable voting for Trump, and they're like looking for a reason to maybe vote for the
Kamala.
Democrats. And
Yeah, yeah. I don't think
yeah,
there's
so
enough of
I
them.
mean,
I
well, I mean,
but
with the
here
I think
electoral
she's got
college,
them.
like you just have to get like a small number of undecided voters to
Yeah.
win, like Pennsylvania by like 50,000 votes and Georgia by like 20,000 votes, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Florida.
Like you
I
just
Yeah.
need to
think
like
Florida is going to
flip a
be an
few
issue. I
people in
think
these.
too. I heard something
So
about
the
that.
Florida,
question I guess I would ask you
yeah, I
from a
mean he's
prediction
fucked.
standpoint
Well, I
is
don't know. Florida is pretty. I lived in Florida, and man, I swear. I mean, you
Well, I
see
don't know about
everywhere.
Florida, but I think Pennsylvania, she's up by like 5 points.
it's like
Georgia's like neck and
Ohio.
neck.
She'll probably get
Ohio,
Pennsylvania.
yeah, I mean all the Democrats have to do is win like
They're
Wisconsin,
not
Michigan.
Democrats, motherfucker. They
Oh,
are
the
Crips,
Crips, my
dude.
bad. Yeah, Wisconsin, Michigan, which I think they solidly won, or and then Pennsylvania, and yeah, I think they got it in the bag. I haven't really looked at a map in a while, but last
I
last time
mean,
around, last time around they won Georgia and Arizona, and that was huge. I don't even think they have to win those states to now. It's all Pennsylvania. It's all about Pennsylvania, right? Whoever
It's
wins Pennsylvania, it's like 20
uh.
electoral college votes. I think
Well,
wins
I
the
can. I mean,
election.
I can definitely look it up, but
And yeah, and I think Kamala's up like 5%, 5 percentage points in the polls. I mean, which is just a snapshot. But
yeah.
yeah, if they win Pennsylvania, I think it's game over, and it's looking like it's gonna go blue. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I personally before like I was wrong. Like when after Biden lost the debate, I was like, saying I didn't think she was going to be able to do much better, but almost instantaneously when she, uh, took over as the candidate online, like things just shifted. Like everything
Yeah,
I'm
I
seeing
know.
on social media,
I
like,
know.
but granted, it's like, are they just feeding us that also? Like it is social media, and you see what they but it's like the comments are just like it just changed overnight. Like Biden was going to get
Yeah,
trounced, but I think she's
yeah,
actually ahead and probably going to win.
yeah. I mean, yeah,
Uh,
it almost feels like 2008 with Obama, right? It's like for the first time in a while, we don't have like two 80-year-old men going to win the presidency. So I think there's some like, I think there is some, some excitement on the
Yeah,
Democratic
people
side.
get fooled by that shit for sure. Yeah, no doubt. They're going to be
And
like
then,
feel good. They
and
got
then
the
Taylor
feel good.
Swift coming in, bringing all the Swifties on board. You know what I'm saying?
she doesn't even deserve to have the name Taylor.
Dude, she's the real Swift. She's the real Taylor.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, so I think you're right, man. I mean, I do.
Look, as you both know, I don't have an iron in this fire. I just know that whatever happens,
Well,
whoever
make a
takes
prediction
it,
though. You
well,
got to
hold
make a
on,
prediction.
whoever takes it first, let me say this, it's going to affect certain things, as you know, like tariffs if Trump, right?
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
whole U.S. steel thing. And, and if Kamala wins, and the fucking Crips win, like, I do feel like there's gonna be a lot more money printing again for any reason, and it's
Hell
typically
yeah.
good for assets like equities. House prices usually rise in those situations. I mean, I typically. So, do you
Yeah.
want my prediction? I still I still think as much as I don't give a shit about this, I still think Trump's gonna win it.
Okay.
I just do.
Yo, what do y'all think about Trump's new girlfriend? You heard about this
Girlfriend.
shit?
No, I
Yeah,
mean,
this chick, Laura Loomer. Have you heard about her?
Oh, that yeah, the nut job lady. Yeah, I've heard about her.
Dude, I think she's like bragging to her friends that she like blew
somebody
Trump and
was
gave him the best blowjob of his life or
yes,
something.
somebody mentioned something that breaking news. By the way, this just came out. China unexpectedly leaves benchmark lending rates unchanged after Fed's jumbo cut. This just dropped 2
Nice.
So I don't really know. Let's see. The People's Bank of China said it would keep the 1-year loan prime rate at 3.35%, as well as the 5-year at 3.85%.
That should be good. I bet you'll see the Jap. I bet you'll see the yen rip off of that.
And we can look at that too in a little bit.
Mm.
But no, I just, I mean, look, I don't really care, but I do believe, I just think Trump's still gonna take it. But
Okay, well that's good. I just wanted to hear your prediction. I mean,
um, why do I think that? For multiple reasons, but it's so close, honestly, and I see both sides of it. It's really even hard for me to say that. It really is. Like at first, like last time we did this, I was like, "Oh yeah, Trump all the way," but that changed.
oh, he
Uh,
was going to kill. He was gonna kill Biden. Like it was gonna look like
no, I'm
Reagan or something.
talking about even when Kamala was, but even after he got, his first assassination attempt.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
I mean, I just,
What do y'all think? What do you think about Kamala's running mate, Tim Walz?
I mean,
You like
you
that
know
dude?
what? He's just
Honestly, I don't really know shit about the guy. I'm not gonna sit
Another
here and act like I
puppet
give a
to
fuck about
me.
Tim Walz. I don't give a fuck about him, and
Wait, isn't
he's a
he
He
piece
from
of
seems
shit.
pretty
Pencil? Isn't
fucking.
he?
He
Isn't he
seems cool,
Pennsylvania
huh?
senator or governor?
No, he's the governor of Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Honestly, he kind of to me he did something stupid with calling them all weird because it's like that's exactly what Hillary Clinton did, calling them deplorables and shit, and all that does is get them fired up more than it gets your own
I don't
base
know. I
fired
think
up.
it really got under their skin. You know, it got. I think the Democrats are doing something smart, and they're just like getting under the Republican skin. You know, like
Oh
Trump
my
hates to
God! How
be
many times do I
humiliated.
have to tell you to stop calling him that, bro?
What? Oh, the Crips.
I don't.
Yeah.
I
So the
don't.
Crips,
Yeah. Yeah.
But isn't
they
that
really.
kind of what that's kind of what the Bloods have been doing for years, bro. So it's like,
Yeah,
I
I know,
mean,
and it's worked for them. You know, to an extent.
yeah,
I
I
don't know.
mean,
I
I
think it's
guess.
kind of
Look,
interesting
the
because
Bloods win. You're gonna see they're gonna try to give the top 1%, the richest people, better tax cuts. things like that. You're gonna see tariffs
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
that sucks, right? Tariffs and tax
Well, no,
cuts for
it
the rich,
depends
like
on how you look at it. Because honestly, if you want jobs created, like if you want to keep, like instead of outsourcing your your job, like your labor in another country, well, then if you want Americans to get paid instead of losing jobs to other countries, Trump put tariffs on China in 2018. And it's not like Tuok always reminds me, it's not affecting the Chinese company. It's the American company that has to pay the tariff tax on it. And
Yeah.
it's all due to force
right.
them to, you
But
know,
then it'll just make. But wouldn't that scenario just make everything more expensive for you and I? And then it'll just
Yeah,
like
it
make
does,
the
but here's the
richer
deal.
richer.
but
But
And
here's
just
the
we're
like
in a
thing.
increase like
global
the class
look, the whole
warfare.
thing is the way Trump, I think, looks at it, and a lot of people look at it, is like we have been in it's been like a global society, right? Everything
Yeah,
is
yeah,
global,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
at this point, um,
We sold out
with
our
all
own
the
country to
tensions
enrich
with,
them.
yeah, with all the tensions with China and all these other countries, it's like we're trying to be more self-sufficient, and that is what those
yeah,
tariffs are doing. So yeah, there's
yeah.
going to be
And
a price to be paid for it. It depends on how you look at it, though.
yeah, it's
Everybody's
like a
going to be
long
affected
term game.
negatively in one way or the other, whoever wins and what policies take place. There's
Well, you got
going
to
to,
Yeah,
remember, Kamala and Biden kept. He was right about that. They kept a lot of his fucking tariffs in place. So
yeah. No, I mean,
yeah,
I think like like a broken clock is right two times a day or whatever. Like
yeah.
I think there were certain things that Trump did where yeah, I mean they did keep some of those tariffs in place, right? So like yeah, I mean I know there's like benefits to tariffs, but there's also, a price to be paid on consumer products, right?
Well,
I don't
here's
know.
my
I think
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
well, it's not really, it wasn't consumer product. Well, I mean, I guess it ended up
Well,
being
it is
consumer
from China. He's right, but it's
Well,
just
yeah,
like,
but okay, never mind. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's whatever. Um Yeah, some of Trump's ideas aren't bad. Like one thing I will say that was good about maybe the Trump presidency, like the one thing I can think of is like, he was tough on China, right? And he was he was tough on some of these guys, and it kind of put things in a different perspective because like I don't know, it seemed like American corporations were just like bowing down to China for decades under like Bush and Obama and whatever
Well, we built
because
Yeah.
them
there was
up.
like cheap goods, right?
If it wasn't for
Well,
us,
Yeah, and then
yeah.
we built them
and
up,
so it was a
dude.
little bit more like sticking it to China, I
We
guess, under the
we
Trump
built them up
administration.
to the
So
point, like, because we originally started outsourcing to China because it was cheap labor, right? Well, over the
yeah, right.
years, they became very, 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 very good at manufacturing and designing tech technology products. So Tim Tim White, not Tim Apple, like Trump says, from the CEO of Apple, even
No,
said,
Tim Cook. His name's
oh,
Tim
sorry,
Cook.
Tim Cook. Tim Cook,
Yeah,
whatever. He he even said in some interview, I don't know when it was, he's like, "Look, people think that, you know, we still use China just because it's cheap labor. It's actually not as cheap as nearly as cheap as it used to be. It's actually because
right.
they are very, very, very advanced at their technology, like manufacturing."
Well, a lot of it is like fucking pollution and materials too. Like they have a lot of that fucking raw material, but also like people would rather them have do a bunch of dirty ass jobs over there and not have them over here. You know what I mean? So out of
Yeah,
sight, out of mind too. Like they can go pollute on the other side of the world and not have to pay as much money because nobody gives a fuck. Whereas like, you know,
yeah,
here they're gonna make you have some certain smokestack and this, that, and the other and make shit safe and all that shit. So Tim Cook's kind of full of shit, but also,
Well, he had a
it's
good. No,
the
he made a point though. I mean, it is true.
but it's a long term fucking it's been a big time globalist, like you said. The main word's global. The globalists have slowly been selling us out for a long, 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 long time. And the problem with tariffs is you should be able to just compete. Like they're gonna keep those Chinese EVs out of America because they would fucking kick our ass
What are you
with
talking
them.
about?
You know what I
You
mean?
talking about BYD?
Yeah, all of them, but BYD in particular, like
Neo and like Lee and XPEV and all
they're
that.
gonna get blocked from selling here. You know it's gonna
Yeah.
happen. So
Yeah, well, they're
it's
not
like,
here now, so
Dude, I was in a Ford Mustang EV. That thing was kind of sick.
yeah.
What do y'all think of? What do you think about some of these EVs? Like
I mean,
not
I wouldn't really.
Teslas,
I don't
but
like drive. I mean, they're fun to drive because they're so fast and shit. But I don't know. I still like some
they
fucking gas. But
yeah, I
you
mean,
yeah,
know,
like some roll some coal, baby.
I
You know what I'm
agree with
saying?
that, but I don't have a problem with EVs. The only issue I have with the EVs right now is like the range issue, you know.
well, my
Yeah,
my issue with EVs is cars were already
And it's
were
also very
always.
pollute like to make the batteries and stuff. I mean,
yeah. The battery's like the dirty little
I
secret.
mean, it's just as fucking polluting
Well,
as
here's the thing. My problem with EVs
gas
is just the
emissions.
fucking money. Is cars are already a depreciating, asset, but with EVs, you can't like you get nothing on resale. So like when you go to
Yeah.
trade cars in and do shit like that or sell a car
Oh,
private
really?
market, like
Yeah.
the batteries until the batteries get a little bit cheaper, like fuck them.
Well,
Because like
that
once they're
well
over
here
like 30, 40,000 miles, like people don't want that shit
I
because it's
mean,
gonna
think
run
about
out and then you
this.
got to replace the battery.
A year ago, maybe not
Yeah.
2 years ago, maybe a year ago, dude, like Tesla's like Model Ys or Model 3s were like double the price they are right now.
Yeah. I heard
You know,
that like
it's crazy.
that
Like the amount of money people spent on them 2 years ago to a year ago, whatever. I mean, if they could have just held on a little bit longer, they could have got it for half off.
yeah, well, I think they're trying to incentivize, or maybe the government's even subsidizing these EVs, right, for consumers to
Well,
buy.
I think it's well, I don't know, man.
Yeah, they do. They have all kind of subsidies for the actual car companies if they sell certain amounts and do this and that and the other. And if their
Yeah,
miles per gallon, like on average, are above a certain, amount. So yeah, there's
yeah,
definitely incentives there and even tax breaks for buying some of them. But I just think they're fucking weak, dude, to be honest, because it's like
yeah. I mean,
fucking it's just like another thing, which like it sucks because it really doesn't matter like anyways, but it's just like it's one more fucking technological piece of shit that's gonna get built that like you can't even fix it. Like, you know what I mean? Everything's just
well,
made to fucking just be thrown away.
here's
You know
my
what I mean?
opinion
yeah,
on the
yeah,
whole
yeah,
thing is we are transitioning into hybrid slash EVs no matter what it's
Oh
happening.
yeah, no matter what. No
We
matter what.
can't we're not going to be able to continue to do combustible gasoline, vehicles forever. It's not going to work. There's only a certain amount of fucking oil. You know what I mean? I
yeah.
mean, in our lifetime,
And
well, it's not going to be an issue, but and I could say that about a lot of things. I mean, these goddamn boomers, bro, they're fucking everything up for us. They just won't let
Well,
go.
here's the thing too.
They don't
Yeah.
want to let go. They don't want to quit. They don't want to
Well, why did they
retire.
have to make every EV car look like a fucking dildo? Like, it's like make the shit look cool. Like they make them
yeah,
like
well,
the
the
most win.
Cybertruck looks badass, dude.
Dildo. What are you
Y'all seen that
talking
thing?
about?
I'm just
Dude,
kidding.
they make all of these things have all these like smooth lines. It's like, why do you care about aerodynamics when you could build like a dope ass looking EV and gas mileage doesn't matter? Like, who gives a fuck? Make it look like an old fucking like 70s Barracuda or something and let it rip with the
Dude,
batteries.
I
Like, I
saw
don't.
I saw a concept car out of Hyundai that looked
Hyundai.
like a sedan from the
Hyundai.
80s.
Hyundai.
Oh, I saw
Hyundai.
that. Yeah, I saw that. That was
That
cool.
thing looks sick, right?
It
You know
did.
It
what's
like
It,
looks
really
like a
sick is
80s sedan.
DeLorean's back, baby. They're making badass looking cars, man. I was just looking at them the other day.
but
DeLorean.
you're just not gonna see with
Mm-mm.
electric cars. You know what I like is when you see some person driving in like a 19 like 91 car. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
oh man, that thing's.
Dude,
I've already told you what my dream car is. A 1986, 87 black Porsche
No, but I mean
911,
like a piece of
911
shit.
turbo, baby.
No, but
dude,
I
did
mean
you
like a bucket when somebody's driving in like a 92 like Buick Grand Lark and it's just beat to shit and
A
it's just cruising
hoopty.
and you're like,
A
do you
man,
hoopty.
that
do you
guy.
know I bought a 1984 Toyota Tercel
You,
wagon from Kelly Losi?
Nice,
you
man.
told me about that because I saw. I was like, "What the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
What
It's
was
it's
that?"
got
You're like, "I
racing
bought it from
stripes on
Kelly."
it.
It's the.
Yeah,
Nice,
Kelly
bro.
Losi
It
sold me
looks
a
straight
fucking
out of like
40-year-old car.
1980.
What's
Yeah,
the
it's
blue book on
1983.
that thing?
Dude, I don't know. I bought it for $3,500 from Kelly.
That sounds like too much.
No, it's sick, dude. It's only
It's
got
vintage.
116,000 miles.
It's a vintage thing, you know.
He sold it to me so he could buy his girlfriend a wedding ring. I was
Oh
like, all
man,
right, dude, let's do it. It's pretty
that's
funny.
awesome.
But yeah, I mean,
All right, so what else is going on in the news?
well,
You see those pagers are blowing up Hezbollah's dicks
so
off.
I
You saw
did
that
look.
thing?
After you told me about it, I did look into it a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
it's kind of
you know,
crazy.
I figured you knew more about it, so I'd let you speak on it a little bit.
All right. Well, basically, I think what happened was, so Hezbollah, ever since October 7th last year when Hamas attacked Israel,
Yes, when they flew
Hezbollah's been like
when they flew kites over the gate, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life.
yeah, right. So then Hezbollah's been launching rockets
Oh no, that's
into
Hamas. Sorry,
Israel, and
that
then
was Hamas, right? Not
Well,
Hezbollah.
they're all
yeah, that
related.
was Hamas, but Hezbollah is the terrorist group in Lebanon.
Iran or Lebanon. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, Lebanon.
there's the Houthis, the Hezbollah, and the Hamas. They all start with a fucking H or a JH or whatever you want
Yeah,
to
with
call
a
it.
no.
They
But
all
anyway,
eat
so
hummus.
they all
Yeah,
eat
I love
hummus.
them. I love hummus.
Yeah, basically. So anyway, so Hamas is another terrorist group in Lebanon, and then they started going to war with Israel around the same time as Hamas launched their attack, right? And then so fucking is the Israeli military put like a little bit of explosive into pagers,
Is that what they
and
say happened? Like that is this that is the
Yeah,
statement?
yeah,
I
I mean
haven't
it's
thought
been
about it.
Wait, who
yeah,
said
it's a
that? Who is saying that the Israel?
The
Who is saying?
media,
Which
yeah
media?
the
All
media
of
the
them?
media
yeah,
all of
all
them.
of them. It's
They're
all
saying
over the
that the
place.
Israeli government is doing this.
Yeah, it's like
It's a huge
it's like
story, dude.
Mossad or like the whatever the IDF whatever. But they put like a
What?
little bit of explosive in a pager, and then posed as like a shell company
A
or
pager.
something, and
What are
sold a
we
bunch
in
of. I
1986 or
know,
something? Like what the
but the
who the
reason I guess
fuck
the reason
uses
they're using
pagers
pagers
anymore?
is well because I think the Israeli
I didn't even
government
know
has been
they
able to.
existed anymore, honestly.
It was less
I
trackable.
think yeah, they were like hacking into cell phones, so they were like let's use pagers because it's lo-fi. You get a call, then you call the number and whatever bullshit.
It's just like The Wire,
Um,
Well, I know, but
yeah,
the wire was also 15, something, 20 years ago. I mean,
but that was their reasoning was
what I'm
because they
getting
could
at
be
is
hacked,
I
so
didn't
they used
even know
pagers.
they made pagers anymore. Like
well
they're
they do in
obsolete.
like Lebanon.
I
Yeah,
guess.
Anyway,
dude.
But do they still have
no,
payphones over there
I
too?
think it was like a Korean company or a Taiwanese company that sold pagers and somehow like the IDF intercepted them. Anyway, got it into Hezbollah pockets and then they just like called the number or something and then the pagers like beeped so they would get the person's attention and they fucking exploded. And if the pager was like in their pocket, they fucking blew their dicks off
Wait. So
or
they
whatever. But
planted
they
the
like
And it was
pagers.
like three
They
thousand
planted
pagers.
the pagers on.
yeah, and it was like yeah, exactly. It was like
Wait.
three
But did they
thousand
plant the
different
pagers
pagers
on
exploded at the
other
same time.
like innocent civilians, or did
Well,
they
they well, I'm sure.
or was it or was
Of
this
course
no?
they
Yeah,
did.
I mean, dude,
Hold
this
on a
shit.
second. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out if they
okay.
did that or were they doing self suicide shit with pagers on themselves.
No,
No.
no. It was just how
The,
they were
the
contacting each other. So they knew a network of Hezbollah was going to get these pagers. Now, 3,000 of them, I doubt. I'm sure some civilians got hit for sure. But
oh,
Hezbollah, a bunch.
definitely.
They knew that at least maybe a big portion of these people were going to be Hezbollah type
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
I think I
So
read there was like 12 deaths, but then there was like 1,000 injuries. It just called like it caused. They all exploded at the same time, so it caused fucking mayhem. Uh, in like Beirut, like the hospitals were just like overrun with like people who were like looking at the pager and the shit fucking blew up in their face and like blinded them, you know?
So how
yeah,
many
So
people died?
I heard 12 people died, but then like
lots of
thousands of
injuries.
injuries. Yeah, lots
Yeah,
of
Well,
maims.
I would imagine there was a lot of injuries.
a lot of
So
missing testicles.
Jeez.
just fucking ball sacks getting blown all over Beirut. dude. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly. My one thought was this when I first heard the story, like, was I wonder if they can just blow up anything with a lithium battery. So they made up the story about the explosive just to make you think, oh, okay, that's how they got it done. You know what I mean? Like they can probably blow up just about anything with a battery these days. But
Dude, I don't know. But it's kind of fucked up because like now like the like the population in Lebanon is like all paranoid about all their electronics. Like they're like, oh fuck, is my cell phone gonna fucking blow up? Like just random people are thinking that like
Something doesn't add
their
up
fucking
about
phone.
this to me. I don't know why. Something, if the media is saying it, whatever, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Just something is not adding up to me about it. I think there's a
well,
way
I
deep.
just think
I
they
think
can
it goes
blow up
way
these.
deeper than what you're hearing on the fucking news. That's all I
Well,
have.
here's the deal: if you're in Lebanon and your cell phone starts playing dreidel, 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 fucking
That's not
throw
gonna be
that motherfucker.
playing in Lebanon. That'd be
Yeah,
Israel.
it's like
Oh, I see
Hava
what you mean.
Nagila. You're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh
yeah. Okay.
fuck.
Yeah. Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made it out of clay.
Yeah, yeah. If your fucking cell phone just starts randomly playing Hava Nagila, you better
Yeah,
launch that
yeah.
shit.
Get the fuck out of
It's
there,
so
man.
fucked up. It's so bad. Oh my god. I mean, well, that's crazy.
Uh,
I didn't look too deep into it. I wanted you to speak on it. My opinion on it is I haven't done my own due diligence on it, and I don't, whatever the news says, I don't ever believe. So if the news is saying a certain thing, I don't necessarily trust it. There's probably something deeper behind it, and I'll look into it a little bit more and see what
Well,
I can.
what I believe is probably deeper behind it is, like I said, maybe they can just blow up any of these pagers on a whim without putting anything in them. But because it looked like what happens when one of those lithium batteries kind of like overheats, like it'll just fucking explode, you know. Uh, but
maybe all the pagers were from like 1986 and they just blew up because like they're fucking shitty ass technology.
yeah,
Yeah.
They're
yeah.
just 40-year
That's
old
like that's
technology.
like
They're
some
like,
shit that
oh
happens
fuck.
in like Die Hard,
The
you know?
capacitors all went bad,
That's
man.
like a Die Hard thing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Uh,
like
yeah, that's
Christ.
good.
Well, that sucks. I
But
mean,
yeah,
it's
man.
fucked
So
up.
that was
What's
Fuck,
cool.
I
That was
think
a
I
cool
keep
story.
freezing up on
It's
you
a cool
guys.
story, but it's fucked up what's going on over there. I hate war. I hate all this shit because look, people ask me all the time, where do you stand with with Palestine or fucking, Israelis? And I'm like, they're like, because, you're Jewish. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm Jewish, but I'm not, I don't believe in religion. So if I don't believe in religion, how could I be Jewish? If you're considering me a Jew because of a bloodline, like a race, well, then you're ignorant. Where do I stand? I just don't like it at all. I don't. I mean, personally, I don't like it. I don't like war. I don't like.
Hey, shut up, Jew. Sorry.
Okay, but I mean, I'm serious. I mean, like people get it mixed up all the time. They're like, "But you're Jewish." I'm like, "Yeah, but really, I'm not because I don't believe in religion. So how could I be?" And they don't understand. People are so ignorant sometimes. They just don't understand.
Yeah.
Well, my stance on it is just like, I guess the one thing that's annoying to me about it is like America, no matter what, like, because they'll tell, they kind of been telling Israel like chill, 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 you know what I mean, and they just kind of keep going forward with more and more shit, you know what I mean. It kind of reminds me of
Yeah,
America
they're like,
after 9/11. It's like going into Iraq and going in here, like it's like to clean up all our laundry in the Middle East, like.
Yep.
And it's like no matter what, they know we're gonna be there to fucking help their ass, no matter what happens. So it's like
yeah.
it's kind of fucked up because they kind of have us hostage in a way by like we're gonna do whatever the fuck we want in the Middle East, and you guys are gonna be here because you know
Right.
it
They're like, hey,
just is what it is.
they're like, you guys need to really chill down with all the violence. And then they're like, by the way, do you want to buy our latest cruise missile that we have
Yeah,
on the market?
exactly. Yeah,
Dude,
for
it's
sure.
all fucked up, dude. It's all
It's
fucked
all
up.
capitalism and
Dude, when it
fucking
comes to
military
when it
industrial
comes
complex.
to
Well,
conflict and war, there's so much money to be made. Like it's all fucked up,
Yeah,
man.
dude.
No, no,
Isn't
no.
don't
is
you
that
think?
like
This is Bloods and Crips, bro. I'm telling you, it is. It
but
doesn't
but
matter.
is military weapons like our biggest fucking like sector of the economy? I mean, like oil and gas,
We have
and then
a
like
huge
military
budget for
weaponry.
military.
Like,
The
Dude, there's
military
so much that
industrial
we don't
yeah,
even
complex.
know.
The military industrial
yeah. It's like
complex. Look,
because they
one
sell to
fucking
the
missile
don't they
is
sell
like
to the government?
one missile costs like $1 million. One
I
missile.
know, but how does
Think
it
about
work?
that.
Is it like Raytheon or whatever like
Raytheon,
manufactures
yeah,
a
Lockheed
missile?
Martin.
I know, but
Yeah, bro,
do
and
they
they get
sell it to the
contracts.
government
Yeah,
then? Yeah, they
they
sell.
Yeah,
They get
contract
at
with
a
government
other.
contracts.
Oh
huge
yeah,
markup, at a
why do
huge
you
So
think
like
profit.
they
our
kill
tax
it?
dollars go to buy fucking missiles, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
hell
Okay.
yeah.
and
Yeah.
our and those and that the
Okay.
stimmy
All right.
money
I'm just
and
trying
the
to get it
stimmy money
straight.
too. I guarantee it.
Fuck that.
Stimmy money went to them.
You know.
And remember this, we don't cover our debt. So everything we buy is tax money plus borrowed money. You know what I mean? So it's like it's
I,
double duty on that shit.
honestly, I don't even know why we pay taxes
Shit.
anymore. The amount of money they print it, like it's ridiculous. Like just keep printing. Like I mean, I don't.
But yeah, man, I mean, wouldn't
Me and
that be
Uncle
so sweet to be
Sam, we
able
don't
to
see eye
sell
to
the
eye.
government fucking missiles and bombs and shit? I mean,
Yeah.
it's just money
And they
Yeah.
hand
do
over
it so
fist.
like under the table they
Yeah.
have to like ship it through different countries and like stuff like that to get it over there. I mean, it's all shady shit, dude. It's like a shadow fleet. It's like a
And
like
then see,
Yeah.
that's the public company. So we kind of, and then there's so many private contractors that do so much business that you don't even know unless you know,
And
you're
apparently,
in the business.
apparently the State Department, or I guess it wouldn't be the State Department, the Department of Defense. Like, I remember watching some Jon Stewart interview where like this woman who was a representative said that they don't even know how
No,
much money they're spending or where the money's going. It's just like it's just fucking flowing out the door, and they don't even like they're not even accountable. Like the State Department or the Defense Department is not even like accountable for like all
there's
this
no
money
audit.
that's just
There's no
flowing
audit.
well,
out.
there's
Yeah,
there's
it's
two things
fucked,
you have to
dude.
think about. So the government is responsible for fiscal policy. That is like the budgeting and where we spend our money. But then you
Yeah,
have the
sure.
Federal Reserve, which is not tied to any government entity or decision. Well, it is, but it is. I don't. Anyways, that's monetary policy. They monitor unemployment and inflation, and that's exactly what their goal is to do by raising interest rates if things get
Yeah,
whatever.
they're just
There's so
printing money.
that will just be well, but that's also the government's fault too. That falls within fiscal policy. I'm telling you, it's all one big monopoly game, dude.
Well, I mean, I mean, it's
Yeah,
just, yeah, most people don't understand the very first step of money, which is the federal government gives it to the banks lend it out, and then they buy treasuries from the US government, which means the government's paying interest on all the money that it spends
And it's not
because
just
it's not
it's
their
other
money.
countries too that buy these
Well, of
bonds.
course, but I'm just saying most people don't even understand that basic
yeah. I mean,
fact
it's
of
pretty
like,
fucking convoluted though.
Well, bonds are
Like,
the bond game is a very confusing thing
it's
to
like, hey, the
understand.
government, every dollar the government, has out there is
yeah,
borrowed from,
Hmm.
they borrowed it.
Right, but they could just still keep printing because
huh?
guess what? The United States
Okay,
dollar is the global currency.
Yeah, our
Right,
government
currently.
borrowed the dollar from a bank that got it from the Federal Reserve at a different interest rate. So it's like
Yeah,
there's multiple hands of
yeah,
interest before we're seeing the dollars. Like
yeah.
it's crazy.
Just to take a step back
huh?
real quick, 1 second. I, 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 I the fact, look, zero,
The
look,
monster truck all out.
zero interest rates. Like here's what happened, and I don't know if we talked about this in the last one, but in 2007, 2008, when they literally lowered interest rates to basically zero for almost 10 years, a decade, till 2019, they started raising again. Then they had the fucking the 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 tantrum, the taper tantrum, or whatever the hell they called it when Bernanke was the Fed of the goddamn Fed. And what that has caused, because interest rates over time, over like a 50, 60, 70 year span, have been sitting at an average of 7%. We're at 5.5. Well, now we're at like what, 5? Because they cut yesterday. So we have become addicted. The
So cheap
U.S.
money.
and the Yeah, addicted. The age of easy money, and now the age of
Mhm.
easy money is over. We're never going back to zero. I mean, it would take like a serious World War kind of three incident to really do that. They're never going to take it back down to zero again. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, look what happened with Japan a month and a half ago with the Japanese
Mhm.
yen carry trade. Do you know what I'm talking about? When the stock market crashed, the Nasdaq 7% in one day, biggest drop since COVID because
Oh,
of what
really? Yeah.
Japan did, and it wasn't even that big of a
Oh,
deal.
really?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah, man.
it's all connected. Where's Tua?
Yeah.
Because he needs to hear this. Well, he knows about it. Wait, he's not on. He's gone. What
Yeah.
the hell,
Woke disappeared.
dude?
The
What?
wokeness got him, bro. You hear?
What the fuck is going on? Well, okay, I'll explain it to you real quick. I'm gonna text him real quick. Be like, where the hell did you go?
Yep.
But
I
anyways,
know, and my internet's been fucking
it's
sucking,
been all
dude.
right. It's been all right so far. No, the Japanese yen carry
Shit.
trade. So, do you know what I'm talking about, Cheeseburger?
Japanese terror
The
trade?
Japanese yen carry trade. It on
Carry?
August 5th, a Monday, a month and a
Okay.
half ago,
Yeah.
the everybody woke up to a bloodbath in all markets globally, basically. I mean, the Nasdaq was down 7% in one day, bro. I mean, that's the kind of shit that we saw when COVID happened.
Yeah.
Um, do you understand what happened?
No, what happened?
So Japan is the fourth largest economy in the world. They
Yeah,
have
okay.
been. You ever heard the whole thing about the lost decade, or actually the lost decades at this point with Japan? Do you know
In Japan. Well, yeah, then their market crashed like in the 80s
the late
or late
80s? Yeah,
90s. Yeah, okay.
right.
Yeah, yeah, I
It
know
was
that.
basically like their version of the dot-com bubble, but what ever since then, they've kept for 30 years, they've kept interest rates at basically zero, right? So
After
what
that? Oh, because they
Yes,
had to
for
recover?
30 years, dude. So
Yeah.
for 30 years, they're like basically zero interest rate. So what happened? Investors, United States, I'm talking big institutions. These aren't like little retail traders like me or anything like that.
Yeah.
But big money said, well, fuck, why are we going to go in with the US dollar? Especially with high interest rates. It doesn't make sense. So what do? They pile into the yen, zero interest rates,
Oh, okay.
or Japanese bonds, whatever. Well, on
Mm.
August 1st or something like that, the Bank of Japan decided to raise rates for
Mm.
the first time in 30 years by only 0.25%, which is very
Yeah,
small.
right.
But that was like on a Wednesday. I saw this happening. Two Oaks saw this happening. So what did we do? We didn't short our markets. We bought bond like option contracts, and we shorted the regional banks.
I always know.
Well, yeah,
There
now
he
I can
is.
hear it. There you go. Ah, there he is. There he
Hey.
is, bro. Man, see, Tuo, dude, you just missed Tuo. He's probably coming back in a minute, but I guess maybe the baby was crying or something. But man, all right. So J-Prez, man, welcome to the Bag Brigade podcast, aka which used to be the Chiz Talk podcast. To all my old listeners, this is my boy Adam, aka we call him Cheeseburger. Adam,
Hey, what's up, dude?
this is J-Prez,
Yeah.
aka El Presidente.
Nice to
What's
meet you, man.
what's
I'm
popping, dude?
Adam, but they call me Cheeseburger.
Right. So yeah, no, Cheeseburger. I met J-Prez like few years back through my Discord channel, and I think it was through Andrea. Yeah, Andrea. Yeah, I don't even want to get into that. But anyway, so like he's been in my Discord, we've been like trading and stuff with, the group and for a couple years now, and I make music, and he's a fucking amazing artist, bro. As far as like
Oh, cool, man.
producing and just like rapping. We'll have to play one of your jams on here before the end.
And
Um,
you live in New York?
Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn.
Okay, cool. I might be moving to Bed-Stuy in the spring.
Best Style is lit, bro. What part?
I don't know, near like the I'm looking at like the Nostrand stop. I don't know. I just know
Yeah,
the subway stops.
yeah, I ain't got over
Like
there. You wanna if you over there though, you wanna hang out like Crown Heights. Crown Heights isn't too far from that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Just
Oh,
somewhere
yeah,
on the AC line, you know?
I mean,
yeah,
it's expensive out there though, bro. Like shit, dude. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I know.
But if you got it, like honestly, why not? Like, feel me?
no,
It's
Yeah.
I hear that. I love New York. I've been there many times. It's just
What
like
part of Brooklyn are you in?
I'm in East New York.
East New York?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's like that side is like more inward towards like the city and shit. East New York is
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Queens.
I saw that they
Okay,
put up
cool.
that new big fucking crazy tower, like residential tower in Brooklyn, right there above that bank or whatever. I don't know what it's called. It's like
Parklands?
huge. I don't know the name of it, dude. It's like the tallest building in Brooklyn.
I've
Or-
even
Okay.
I mean,
shit
it's
out.
like, anyways, it's like bronze color. I don't know. Anyways, whatever.
Oh, you talk about that
Big ass residential tower. It's on top of a bank.
is that in Brooklyn or is that in the city?
It's not in Manhattan. I know that for sure. It's
Is
definitely.
it oh in Trump Tower?
It could be in Queens.
No, I'm just
But I'm pretty sure it's in Brooklyn. I don't know. Regardless, regardless. Um, I'm sure J-Prez over here is a little. Are you still holding them the videos?
Nah, I sold them shits, bro. I'm pissed because I should just sold. I got a problem, bro. Like,
So do I. I should have sold too. At the right when I got, I should have
yo,
sold. I should have sold. I was up, but like,
it's,
I
it
didn't.
happens.
I
It happens.
didn't. Guess what I did? I scaled in
As usual.
as usual. But my cost basis is pretty low. So if it has any run in the morning, I mean, I
Yeah,
can at least maybe get out for green. Otherwise, you know, whatever,
yeah.
man. Sometimes I win, sometimes it's a little bit. No, so
Yeah,
Cheeseburger, I put out like alerts,
I
like
think
when
I'm
I'm
gonna
getting
get.
into
oh
a
yeah.
trade, and he'll follow some of mine, and some of them work out great. Today, actually, it worked. We just didn't
Nah, that
sell. We just
Nvidia
didn't
was
fucking sell
bro.
in
Just did
time.
that shit. Yeah,
And so
yeah. I
then it
got
went back down, and then
yeah,
Hmm.
it just chopped around. But
Man, that shit's too stressful, dude. I
bro.
just put
Just
money in the S&P and I just, you
yeah,
know,
bro.
I
I'm gonna
mean,
be
slowly
look,
forget.
like 90% of this shit is just discipline and selling that shit when it makes sense. Like,
it really
Yeah.
is.
yo,
It
the first time I missed the entry on the first play, and that shit went up to like point like 60s, point 70, some
Yeah,
shit.
because I got in for like $40 or some
Yeah,
shit like that, and it went up to like
I
60 or
missed that shit.
70, and you're like, "Damn it!" You text me, "Man, I missed that video." I was like, "Yeah," I was like, "It might come back down,"
And
but
then dropped back
when
down,
it
and then,
came back down, it just chopped.
yeah, but it ran back up. Like I had a chance to, I got
It,
in, and I had a chance to sell that shit and just like take profit. And I was like, yo, and I say like I should just sell two of these shits and leave one, like just in case. But I was just being greedy and shit.
I
Like,
know,
feel me?
dude. I did the same thing,
That's the
bro.
problem,
I
dude.
could have walked away easily with an easy like $300, easily. But I didn't do it. And now I'm holding overnight and I scaled. So we'll
That's
see.
one thing I don't like doing. I
Hey,
like
I'll
going.
tell you what though, you know what? That's hurt me a lot, but it's actually it's actually made me a lot of money in certain cases. Cheeseburger
Hmm.
has no idea what the fuck we're talking about right now. He doesn't
I
know.
mean, I get it. I just don't watch them. I just don't follow the markets, like you guys.
Well, the
I
good
just
thing is like you don't if you're part of Bag Brigade and you're VIP, bro,
He's probably like a
like
stand
as
to that.
long as you have the alerts like signaled to your phone, like because we're
I know, but
alerting.
that's too time consuming, dude.
What do you mean?
It's
You
too
get on
much.
your
It takes
fucking phone and push a button or
I
two, and
know,
you're
but
in
I
the
like to
time consuming. I
I mean,
mean,
it's just like it takes too much of my thought,
I'm
my
the one
time.
sitting here looking at charts all day, bro, making these alerts. I mean, if you're out and about getting an alert, and you
Yeah,
bing, you just hit
yeah.
it, and you go like, anyways, bro.
Yeah, I guess you're
Uh,
more like an investor then, right? You're not really like a trader. You just invest in shit and keep it
Yeah,
pushing.
I mean, I just know that like I need some money when I retire, so I'm gonna buy the S&P, and then hopefully in 40 years, 30 years or whatever,
Like one
it'll be
thousand.
good
yeah, I
enough to
mean,
retire
look,
with.
in the long run, it goes up. There are those
You think the
dips. There are
you think the
those
market, or you
what?
think the S&P is going to keep going up? The
Yeah,
market's going to keep going
I
up
mean,
until when we're like
it
yeah, till
needs
when
like
we're
a
at what? Till when we're like what?
75.
Yeah, it's the market's gonna continue to go up, but you're gonna
Okay.
have these years or these moments that we're actually
Well,
dealing
yeah.
with currently where
Yeah,
the
when there's like a
market does
correction, right? Like a
well.
20% correction in the market. And
Well, I would say we're probably gonna see more in the correction here. It's coming. I mean, I called it. I said, okay,
they're
if they
saying it's
if
a
they cut
recession.
rates, I say we're gonna see a mini rally. Okay, they're gonna rally off it. And you know, it could take until the election for it to really set in, but when it does, when the 10-year yield, the 10-year bond yield and the 2-year yield, like it's called the 10/2, it's been uninverted under the zero line. I could share my screen, but I will in a second. Well, actually, you know what? Fuck it. This will make the most sense. I have to share my screen to show you this. This will make more sense. I
Like you're
know,
saying,
I
like
know that
COVID
you fucking
level,
heard me talk about this shit so many times.
level criteria for a recession.
All right, Two Oaks back. Two Oak. We got old J-Prez in here, man, from the
Oh, what up,
Discord.
Presidente? What's going on, man?
Chilling.
Yeah. No, we were just I was introduced to Cheeseburger and them and we started talking. I'm sharing my screen now real quick. I wanted to explain I was explaining to Cheeseburger about the Japanese yen trade and then J popped in, so I will get back to that. But we were just talking about like with these rate cuts and what the market's doing and I called a mini rally, but I do believe that the crash or the cratering is imminent, just is a matter of time. I don't know when, but here is what I
I know, but
do.
you just like Chicken Little, like the sky's
Just
falling.
pay attention and look at what I'm
Okay,
showing you.
all right. I see it.
Okay. So this is the 10-2 yield curve. Okay. It's a 10. So this is a recession indicator. They've been using it for years. Look, when it comes underneath the zero line, it means that it is inverted. This is in the 70s and 80s. And this is when like Paul Volcker was doing shit, right? So any of these like grayish, whatever, pinkish things, that's a recession. So look, every time this thing uninverts, you get a recession, right? Recession,
Oh,
right? 1990, recession. Dot-com bubble. Once it uninverted, recession. 2008 financial crisis. Once it uninverted, recession. We had a mini one in COVID. We had a mini recession. This is the longest we've ever been inverted. Ever. And
Yeah.
so what I'm getting at with it, wait, why can't I check? So, and I'm gonna match this with what happens when the Fed cuts rates. I didn't do go all the way back, but like, okay, Feds rose, they basically paused, and then they cut. Same timing as the yield curve, uninverted, as we are uninverting now. What happened? Recession. Same thing in '08. Flattened out, they rose, they paused, they cut, the yield curve uninverted, recession.
Hmm.
Basically, same thing happened in COVID. It was just like that was a crazy, weird event. You know what I mean? But look, same thing. And guess what? Yesterday, they cut, right? So, last thing, I'm just going to show you how the market reacts. And only this is just two examples. So, when they cut here and the yield curve uninverted, like somewhere around this area, this is the dot-com bubble. You're talking about a 50% drop in the S&P 500 within like a 2-year period. Then comes back up all the way to exactly where basically it topped out at like 8 years prior. The yield curve uninverts and the Feds cut rates, and we dropped 58% in about a year and a half, like in a year and a half period. So I'm look, history does I don't care. And these are all lined up. I mean, the yield curve right now, here it is. Look, this is it currently. Like, let me go back in time. Look, it is uninverting. Look, I'm just telling you. I mean, this is hard landing shit. This isn't soft landing, whatever the fuck. I don't even know what that means. And I don't even know what the fucking shit no landing means. The plan's got to land at some point. But anyways, I hope that makes sense to you guys. Like, because historically proven it's very rare that that doesn't happen. Now, is it going to happen tomorrow? I don't know, but it's
Right.
coming. I bet you it starts to really get the cratering starts to come, either around the election or after, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Can you buy S&P puts 2 years out?
Yeah, me and TooWoke looked at this yesterday.
So what are
But
the
the thing
prices?
is I don't like buying puts. Like I hate buying spy options that far out. I just
Wait,
don't like. I
you just
just don't like. I like doing what Justice Success would do. Now you saw him get fucked in
I'm not I'm not
2023.
I'm not telling just bro.
Well, no,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
telling you, Jess is one of the smartest ones in the room. I'm telling you, he just was. He sees things the way I do. I just finally stopped. But look, here's the deal. In 2022, Jess killed it because what he was doing was buying like 3 week out, way out
Yeah,
of the money puts on SPY for like
yeah.
50 cents, buying like 100 of them. And then they
Yep.
would skyrocket. He'd sell, and then he would let it kind of rally, do the same shit over and over and over again. I mean, he killed it. I was doing it with them. Now he made a lot more than me, but like, look, Jess used to work at JP Morgan. I mean, the dude is very smart. Now, 2023, I was starting to question him, and he actually took a break for a little bit,
He
as you
was
have, if you haven't noticed, he got burned.
yeah, he was getting wrecked, bro. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, I
because he
can,
kept buying spy puts. I did
but
too. I did
I ain't
too.
I ain't think it's because he's like a bad trader or anything. I think bro was just like dead set on it being like a fucking like just on shit tanking. And I'm like, bro, this shit ain't tanking.
I think it's going to take a little
Ooh.
while because I think what's going to happen here is like I think it's pretty obvious. They're pretty much signaling that like they're going to keep cutting rates. You know what I mean? Until we see either success in that avenue, whatever that looks like for them, or we see inflation rear its head again. Now, if that happens, it could put a damper on their rate cuts. But I think in the meantime, you're going to see real estate taking off again. I think the prices of hard goods, hard assets are going to go fucking crazy once more, especially if they do, once we get to like a full percentage and a half, full percent like down, which could easily be by the end of the year, like people are going to start jumping into home sales again. And that's going to cause another rally and another little bubble. And then after that, I could see things, getting rocky. But I think we're at least
My boy
6 months to a year from seeing that kind of stuff starting to happen.
Well, that's too hard to call. Who
yeah,
knows? It's
my
very
boy
hard. It's like calling the top and the bottom. I don't know.
Well, I
But
just a real estate bubble is inevitable, and that
well, this is
usually
not a real
brings.
estate bubble. This is an everything bubble.
yeah, my boy's like
Yeah.
in real estate heavy. Like he has a whole like startup and shit. He does cash deals and all of that shit. But he's been calling a fucking like he's been calling a crash for like the past I don't say since I met him. I'm not even gonna lie.
Well,
Anybody
but
calling for a residential real estate
Yo,
crash over the last couple of years has like missed the point because it's like
yeah,
it's there's not enough inventory. House price is going to crash. Like you have to have a huge swing. You
man,
know
you
what I
just
mean?
keep
Like
disappearing from your camera. I don't know what happened. You like fade in and fade
right.
out.
Yeah, he's calling it. He has like other people with a little more experience than him calling that shit, and it's to the point where they don't even want to get in on certain deals because they just think shit's gonna crash.
Well,
Like,
that's crazy.
okay. Well, here's my
drops.
thesis. As most of you guys know. I mean, look, we've printed more money in the past 5 years than
Yeah,
ever in the history of printing money. Okay. Um, the GDP to debt ratio is just out of control. The debt ceiling, every time we reach the debt ceiling, what do? They raise it. Okay. We have geopolitical tensions off the woozah right now between, Ukraine and Russia. You got the whole thing in the Israel and the Mid East. And then you got China and Taiwan situation. You got AI, this AI bubble. Like, I mean, look what happened in the dot-com bubble. I mean, look, everybody got super hyped. It was everybody bought in and then it went to shit. But guess what? The internet is still here. I'm not saying AI is going anywhere, but some of these companies, like they're not all. I don't know, and it goes further than that. I mean, the whole market is pumped on. Well, got really pumped on stimulus money. One, now 2022 kind of erased a little bit of that, but now you got consumer credit card debt at all-time highs. You have the commercial real estate office market literally defaulting. Now, with these 50 basis point cuts, I mean, that could help a little bit, but it's crazy. I mean, you're seeing office buildings across the country go for like 90% off what they were bought for 5 years ago. It's wild shit. And
To
guess what?
me,
When they default, and if someone doesn't buy the fucking building, the banks have to hold the asset. What does a bank do with an empty building? I still have not been able to answer that question. I don't fucking know. I don't know.
Sell it to China.
I think, yeah.
I don't know
think
what
that
the fuck I'm talking about.
I think the main message we're getting from the people in power right now are just like they're going to try to keep this party going by any means necessary. So I think to bet against it in the next
Well,
like
what's all the
6 months to 12 months is foolish. I think.
well, what happens when all the boomers die? Is the market just going to like die along with them, or what?
well, they're gonna
Meme
stop.
stocks are going to go through the roof.
They're gonna stop cutting their yards. That's for sure.
Yeah, the next generation
But is the
will
market
send
just
all
going to
the
fucking like
No,
crash?
here's
Or
the
I don't
thing.
know.
Me and
Yeah, like
Tuo have with boomers, okay? And I'm not talking about mushrooms, okay? I'm talking about like the boomer generation because I like the other boomers a lot. Um, the boomers won't like
on
let go like of their job positions or their CEO positions. Like they're not quitting, like they're not retiring, and it's causing a huge problem for our generation. And it's because, in my opinion, well, it's greed, and greed is one, and the other thing is that it's like an identity crisis to these people when they
yeah, exactly.
retire. They like what are they? You know, like I
Yeah.
don't know, but they won't quit.
Taylor. This is for you, Taylor.
Oh hell yeah, well, dude! Is that penis envy?
I think it is,
I
right?
mean, penis envy is the best shrooms out there, dude.
Dude, I got a whole fucking
Man, yeah,
Talente
no,
din of
I
a
just went through like a whole ounce to myself in like a week. It's crazy. This is fucking nuts. They're so good, bro. I mean, they're so good. These are the best. I'm telling you, Two knows. They're so good.
Yeah.
Um,
But anyway, so when the
anyways,
boomers die off and
I don't know.
eventually
A
they're
big
gonna
shift
die,
of
right?
wealth is going to happen, obviously. Like, you know,
But yeah, it's gonna shift what to
to
our
the
generation, or yeah, it's just gonna keep going,
no,
right?
it's gonna go down the lineage of, you know, like the families of whatever. Like that wealth
Yeah.
is now gonna shift, and they're gonna start being like, you know, the head honchos or whatever the fuck. But you know, also a big shift of wealth happens during these market craterings as well. I mean, it's true. I mean, like the stock
Mhm.
market is like a zero sum game. You, you make money, somebody's losing money.
Yeah.
It's not like we're adding like we're adding a product to our society that's making our society, you know, or our you know, like something better. It's just one wins, one loses. That's how it goes. The only thing that I can say about it is like, okay, if it's a good company that you want to invest in, I'm using Tesla as an example, that you believe in it and you put your money in it to help them grow and they have more capital to expand and do what they do. I mean, that is one thing. But when you're trading, no, it's a zero sum game. It doesn't add
Wait,
any value to the goddamn GDP or anything because somebody's losing it on the other end every
wait, can
time.
I ask a dumb question real quick?
Sure. I love
When
dumb questions.
you buy a share of a company, right? Where
Yeah.
does that where does that money go? Like
To the company.
does it go to the company? It
Yes.
goes to the company, so they're just like generating wealth,
Yeah, that's how their
selling
market
stock.
cap is
Well,
How
calculated.
the fuck?
no.
Like,
Well, no. So, I mean, so you have a pool of shares, and then the company sells those shares, and then they hold on to a certain amount of shares. So they're going to sit there, and sometimes the money's going to go to them after a year. You know, in the beginning, they have all the shares, and then they do a public offering, and then those shares get spread out.
Well, that's what
So
I'm
when
no,
talking
you
about
but
after all that too, Oak. I'm talking about like
no,
but
but
companies.
when
that's
you
what he's
buy,
asking.
yeah, when you buy when they sell. Okay, so it's the company that holds on to the shares, and they sell them to you. and that money so that money goes into the pockets of
It
whoever held
allows
that
them to
share
grow.
before.
Exactly. So the
It allows
company
them
makes
to
Okay.
the
grow.
money. They get to keep however many shares they're going to keep. And then as everyone's trading that stock, even if they never sell one, the value of all their shares is going to be worth way more if people are into it. You know what I mean? So they're going to try it. And that's why a lot of companies, like when everything's going so good, but growth is not really there, like companies just start buying back their own shares. So they'll be like, all right, we're going to start buying our company from you guys again.
T-
And then that'll run the price up even more, you know?
Tuvok's like a ghost. He
Okay.
just keeps reappearing and disappearing from the camera. Like it's so funny. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, that's what it is. I mean, but that the whole point I'm saying is like, trading or whatever, that adds no value to the economy.
Yeah.
You win, someone loses. You lose, someone's winning. Like, you know what I mean? Like
But I mean,
Gotcha.
stocks don't have to be that way. Like, I mean,
no,
somebody
no, no. I'm
sells.
talking about options.
Yeah, trading. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's just an interest. It's the end all be all though for 401ks and the way that our world is set up. For people's retirements and pensions and all this shit.
Yeah.
So,
And
Yeah.
that's the boomers'
uh,
faults. It's the boomers' faults.
and then the derivative market on a lot of these things is bigger than the actual product itself. So like people
Yeah.
just start trading shit like in levels that are just like
Yeah. I mean,
crazy.
options or
Like more
fucking
silver gets traded.
futures, like they're all derivatives of something that's already, it's a bet on top of another bet. That's what it is.
Like every day, like 50 times the amount of silver, or basically at any given time, like 50 times the amount of silver that even exists on the planet is being traded. You
Right.
know what I mean? Through
Right.
like markets.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of crypto? I haven't heard y'all talk about crypto.
Fuck
Man,
crypto, bro.
I mean,
yo,
bro,
I'm gonna lie, bro.
I'll let Jay go
Crypto
on that.
sucks?
I'll let Jay
Yo,
go first on this.
it doesn't suck, but it sucks at the same time because it's so fucking scammy, bro.
Yes,
Like,
it's so
Yeah.
scammy. Such
yeah,
a
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I made like 2 or 3 bands in like 1 hour.
yeah,
Like,
me too.
and
Yeah.
You
it
can
probably
do
would have
it
kept.
like that.
I mean, I got some Bitcoin that I'm holding on
See,
to,
the thing
and
is, okay,
that shit.
Would have
Bitcoin's
probably
fine.
be cooked, bro.
Bitcoin's fine. Ethereum fine.
It's the
You know what
other
I mean?
shit.
Like,
Like,
but
I
it's
like
like
yeah, all the scammy
the
bullshit. But
meme
what about
yeah, like
coins and all that shit,
but
dude. Like,
do you think
when shit
Bitcoin's
comes
gonna
back,
go like 6 figures or what?
I
nah,
mean,
it'll probably get 6 figures, bro. I don't know when, but I think it'll do.
Bitcoin will go to 100,000 eventually,
Like,
dude. I
I
mean,
think I think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. People are so pumped about it that it'll happen. And I think as soon as it hits that, it'll probably
Yeah.
fucking have a
Yo,
So I should
major.
sell mine at 99,000,
Oh, if
man,
it
nine
hits
hundred thousand.
98, sell that bitch.
I
bro, I'm
mean,
not
I got 12
bro.
Ethereum at $1,500. Okay,
Like, have you heard of
and I'm
Solana?
holding those. I've had those for a while, and I'm not
Yeah.
doing anything with them.
Have you heard
Yeah,
of Solana?
yeah.
No,
So
I'm in
Solana,
Solana.
Ethereum.
Solana's like the next like big thing up after like Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Oh
But
yeah,
like
Solana. Yeah.
every time this shit gets like $200, it drops. So it's 200 is like the hard resistance points for this shit. So every time it hits 200, like it'll just drop in, not like a wicked drop, but it'll drop back to like 190, chop, chop,
Yeah,
chop.
that's technical analysis 101 for you,
Yeah,
Cheeseburger. When you're looking at a chart and it keeps testing the same level and it keeps rejecting, I mean,
Yeah, it's like
it
resistance or
was,
whatever.
yeah, resistance, or that's basically supply. Like people are like, all
it,
right, we're taking
it
profits here.
was like manipulation at this point though, because it
Well,
never.
it's all the whole goddamn market's manipulated. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness, the whole market's
Yeah.
manipulated. It
But
is.
Solana's like a casino because they have all the meme coins on that shit. So, but they're good. They just listed Whiff on fucking what was that Coinbase, I think.
Listed
Fucking
what?
Indian casino.
Yeah,
Listed
they
what did they list?
Whiff is a meme coin. It's like one of the big meme coins from like
I
last
just
year.
don't. Okay, here's the deal, and this is look. I don't get it. Like, okay, I get the Bitcoin and I get Ethereum and some of these other names
Bro,
like Ripple or like XLM or like Solana,
yeah,
whatever, but or ADA. But what the fuck? Like
coins are
some of these
like,
coins, it's like
bro,
there's
They're
thousands
just
of them,
pump and
and it's
dumps.
like
They're
I
just pump
know,
and
I
dump.
know, I know. I don't even
they're literally just
understand
trying to get rich,
how
bro.
they've allowed it to continue to go on. It's
It's crypto, bro.
crazy. I know it's crypto. It's crazy. People who buy into these like new, like it's
Yo,
insane.
I bet
2001 and 2002 was so bad.
like I still have some shit on like my wallet, so I'm just like, yo, I kind of want to just just to make some extra bread. I kind of want to just like play in the market like these next few days. But at the same time, I know how fucking scammy that shit is, and it's like, bro, I don't want to put this money in and just lose it because somebody decides to rub a fucking coin.
Yeah, and plus it's a 24-hour market. Like I just don't like it. I prefer, my long-term stock holdings. I prefer trading options, and actually these days I honestly prefer trading futures more than anything. Except right now I'm getting hit pretty hard on some of my positions. But but the thing about futures is you don't have to worry about time decay. And
Yeah,
the thing about futures you have to worry about is you can lose more than you put in. Options, time decay, but you can only lose what you put in, right? When you're buying options, at least. Uh,
yeah,
it's craziness, but I wanted to we can stay on crypto for a second. I wanted to finish the Japanese yen trade thing, uh, telling Cheeseburger about it, but crypto, dude, look, as an owner of a server with hundreds of people on it, I get hit up, dude, I don't even know how many times a day by some by I don't even know, like trying to pitch me on some shit, or they'll come in the server and they'll be like, and I have it all auto modded where it immediately like deletes the message, and and I talk shit to these people too. Like I'm like, what the fuck you think you're doing? Yada yada yada. But like there's always some scam, and forex is really bad too. I've never really been into forex, but forex and crypto are just very very scammy, and I get hit up with it every day. Now, I have actually been hit up by some people that are legit, like the algo, the quant bot, the old astral bot, J-Prez. You know what I'm talking about, with the 3 and 5 minute, or the 5 minute things that we got going on in the server.
yeah. I like those are pretty clutch.
Yeah, so they're so they've been doing a lot of work, and they just rolled out 3.0, and they're now they're about to do futures, and they're gonna do swing alerts instead of just like scalp alerts and stuff like that.
So the swings
Uh,
be like 15-minute trades and shit.
what?
The swings are like 15.
Yeah, I mean swing trades, like holding an an option, over multiple days, or multiple weeks or whatever. That's a swing. A day trade's a day trade. You open and close it in the same day. A swing would be opening it and closing it the day after, or whenever the fuck. That's a swing. That I am more of a swing trader typically. I really only do day trades if I see a good setup, and I do it for the fucking community, because there's not a lot of alerts going out these days, and then if I don't do it, I'm gonna lose people. So, anyways, but yeah, no, look, real quick, back to the Japanese yen carry trade, Cheeseburger. I want to explain this to you real quick,
All right, yeah, go for it.
because I don't even know.
Because I
Let me
might have
just,
to, I might
I
have to
know.
jump off in like
Okay,
10.
okay. Nate and J-Prez, I don't even know. I mean, I've explained it on this server, but I mean, you remember what happened on August 5th when the NASDAQ went down 7% because of the yen thing. Everything,
Yeah.
it was Black Monday, was what they called it. Uh, and I was asking Adam or Cheeseburger if he actually knew anything about like what happened. And I know TooWoke, I know you know.
Yeah.
Do you
So wait,
understand?
they raised the rates,
Wait.
right,
Do
in
you
Japan?
understand? But Prez, do you understand exactly what happened with all that? Do you get why all that happened?
I know Japan has some shit going on over there where they was like, let's say, like in a recession right now.
Well, right.
Yeah.
I'll say exactly what I was telling, and TooWoke, you could step in. But basically, Japan has been stagnant as far as their economy for like 30 years. I mean, they called it the lost decade, but it's like the lost decades too. And they've kept their interest rates basically at zero since like 1989. Okay. So interest rates at zero. Okay. We did that for a while, but they've done
They
it for
had negative. They had
well,
negative interest rates.
negative. Right. But for 30 years.
What's
So,
Yeah.
wrong? What's wrong with that?
but they're the fourth largest economy in the world.
Yeah, what's wrong
So,
with that?
well, so hear me out. So investors, big investors. I'm not talking about people like us, or even some hedge funds. I'm talking about like big institutions. Instead of using the U.S. dollar with a 5%, fucking 5.5% interest rate on it, or even before the rates went up, they were just going to the yen because it was at zero or negative interest rates, and then taking the yen and then going and buying into whatever they wanted to. For years, they were decades. They did this decades. Okay, trillions of dollars. Well, Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday, August 1st, the Bank of Japan came out and said they were going to raise rates by 0.25, 25 basis points. We just cut 50. Okay, so that happened. There wasn't an immediate reaction, but I sure as hell knew something was coming. Too Woke knew. That's why we bought the TLT calls and the KRE, the regional bank puts. And boom, Monday came, and I swear all those contracts were up like 4,000% because the bonds ripped and the regional bank, everything else dropped. So it's not like we shorted SPY, but we played it a different angle. I did not know it was going to do that. That's the craziest thing, that that's how connected and globalized we are. That Japan raised by 0.25. Okay, after 30 years. And if you think about it, when you have trillions of dollars in the yen and they do that, now you're at a loss. So you got institutions basically capitulate panic selling, which caused another sort of capitulation panic selling in global markets, especially here in the United States. That's what happened.
And you have a fucking short, squeeze basically on the yen. It wasn't too bad, but I don't think I think that those prices aren't going to be seen again. And I think that the yen is probably a really good 3-year investment.
I'm glad you brought that up. We just got breaking news.
The yen will be a good investment for the next 2 years at least.
Japan, this just was released. Japan inflation rate rose to 10-month peak. The annual inflation rate in Japan rose to 3.0 in August 2024 from 2.8 in the prior 3 months, pointing to the highest level since October 2023. Meanwhile, the core inflation rate hit a 6-month top of 2.8. This just came out, by the way, 2.8% in August.
I'm going to buy some yen.
Accelerating the 4th month and aligning with market forecasts. Now, midnight Eastern tonight, which is not too far away. Guess what's happening? The Bank of Japan is making their rate decision. And literally, like, we're talking in about an hour. Okay, so if they raise again 0.25, whatever, I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of turmoil in the market. That will definitely kill the NVIDIA calls, but it'll definitely bring back the TLT calls for sure. But I'm just saying, I mean, if they do anything,
they said pretty much what I'm hearing is they're not going to do anything till December. But that inflation report is interesting, and overall bullish on that yen, man, for sure. It's going to keep popping.
Yeah, I mean, especially if they raise, I mean, shit, dude. So anyways, that's the whole Japanese yen carry trade thing. That was some breaking news. In about an hour, we're really gonna find out. I mean, the futures market's probably gonna go crazy in about an hour. I'm gonna be watching.
How do you invest in the yen? Do you just like buy that shit?
No, you can do. It's the easiest way to do it is through futures. The /6J is the ticker for it. But if you're not familiar with futures, I mean, dude, I'll get you on them. I paper trade them first.
I'm trying to lose money like that, bro.
Well, I mean, practice though. Paper trade with them. I understand how it works, and then when you have that paper, you'll understand how to do it. That's what I mean. Like I paper trade the shit out of futures for a while because I just didn't fully understand it, but now I totally get it. I mean, futures are kind of crazy. I mean, you could trade futures on corn or cotton. You can trade it on bonds. You can trade it on indices. You can trade it on currencies. I mean, you can trade futures on everything. And farmers started the futures game back in the day because they were what a futures contract basically started and represented was a farmer was able to say, shit, Well,
So like,
prices right now, it's we're growing corn, and corn prices tend to go up in October. Let me lock in a futures contract for October at this price, guaranteed. And that's basically what futures contracts are. Now you have speculators like us that come in and just trade the contracts. But I know someone in the Discord server that traded during Halloween years ago pumpkin futures. I don't even know what the ticker for that is. Okay. And he let the contract expired. So what happened? They delivered a fucking truckload of pumpkins to his house. It's called a deliverable. Some brokerages don't allow it, like TD Ameritrade or Schwab. They won't do it. But this kid or this guy had a 18-wheeler full of pumpkins pull up to his house because he had to pay for it on
so
that futures
do
contract.
Bro,
futures work
I'm about
like regular charts and shit?
What's that?
Do you chart futures the same you would like regular stocks? Because the yen is about to break like I might have broke that shit already.
Well, I need to
Uh
look. I need to look at it, but
yeah,
it's
go
probably
back.
It's probably moving because of that inflation data that just came out. But
Yeah,
anyways, that was the whole
And
Japanese.
basically, after that carry trade, it went to some highs like 7-1, and it just broke through it yesterday.
yeah.
And then it came back down, but a couple days ago at least, it broke through pretty hefty actually, and then it came back down. But you're going to see a lot of volatility in that
It's
yen.
actually coming down a little bit right now. I'm looking at it right now.
That shit was higher during COVID times. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, dude, because we what did we do? We lowered we raised our rate, so it made the dollar stronger, which then in turn made the yen weaker, and so the yen's been like fighting for its life, bro, just getting
Yeah.
killed. Just, I mean, when you see a drop like that on a currency in like a year, 2, 3 years time, like you can see over the last few years, like it just has been fucking just beat to shit. And no matter what they do, man, they can raise it for like a week or two and then it'll just fucking crater again. But this time's different because there's actually real rates changing at huge, at giant
Well,
fucking
look.
margins because you go from zero to
Look,
0.25
here's the
and then you
daily
do
on the
another one. Like,
here's the daily on the 6J. All right. So look. So this thing's been, this thing been coming down for it's been getting wrecked. I mean, here it peaked. What was this in 2023? Not peaked, but that was the most recent peak.
Yeah,
Uh, and this thing came down so low, and then here's your, where was August 5th? Right here. This is when they did the Japanese yen carry trade. That's the 200. That's the 200-day moving average. So it's holding the 200-day moving average, and it's at the 38.2 fib level. But when it comes to these kind of things, it doesn't really matter because if they raise rates, I mean, this shit goes out the window, and this thing flies to the moon. But yeah, that's a daily look at it. If you want to get a closer look on after that inflation data just came out, I mean, it is sort of coming down right now currently.
I think it's way underbought right now because I think that move happened so abruptly. It's freaking people out, but it's a diamond in the rough, or not a diamond in the rough, but it's right there in front of everybody to see that on a grand scale, it really hasn't changed that much percentage wise in the last 6 months to a year, based on what actually changed, which is pretty drastic.
So this is 6 months. I mean, it's stayed within a pretty tight
And
range.
look, Tiz, nobody expected a point 0.5. No one expected a point 0.5
I
when the
did.
carry trade, not when the carry trade happened. Everyone was like, are we going to have one
I
or is
mean,
it a 0.25?
I personally, like I told you, I said nothing going to surprise me. I said they could do 0.25, 0.5. They could keep it
No, I know
paused.
that, but I'm talking about the market was pricing in
I
a
know,
point
I
two
know, I know.
five at, like, that's what people were pricing in. So this thing is underbought right now, dude. It's gonna
I
fucking
know.
leap, and it could
I
be
mean, I'm
pretty
probably
big.
gonna get into it. I just need to get some margin back from fucking the UB. But anyway, yeah, the ES futures, the S&P, they're down a little bit right now, 0.2%. But anyways, that was your last. Did Adam leave? He left. Yeah, he said he had to go or some shit. So
The cool thing, Jay, is that On futures though, dude, like not all of them are really. Some of them are very scary. Some of them are really cheap. Like some of them, like something will have to move quite a bit for you to like actually lose or make any real money on it. So like you can get your feet wet with certain commodities and not take big risks. Like some of them will move like, $500 if the thing moves like a couple dollars basically. So it's like, um, it's pretty safe at that point.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the options for now. I gotta get used to
Well,
like.
Oh
the
yeah,
thing is look, most futures, like let's just use the ES, the S&P 500, not the micro, not the MES, the ES.
it
One
requires
con,
more money for your account.
one contract cost about 20 grand in margin to put
Grand
up.
for one track is crazy, bro.
Right. But the micros, the micro ES is 2,000 in collateral or margin, which is still a lot. But you gotta understand the way futures move. They move by ticks. So like and they're all priced differently. So some did we did we just lose 202? Jesus, everybody's just popping off this bitch today. I guess it'll come back. But anyways, yeah, I mean futures are just it's wild, dude. It's a whole different thing, but it moves in ticks. So like when I mean tick, it's like tick is like each move, like not just like 1 minute candle. It's like each price tick, and each different futures has a different amount. Like the higher the margin, like the more like one tick will gain you. So like there's been times where I got like two contracts of gasoline futures, which is 6 grand for each contracted margin. And it went, and I bet on it when it going up, and it went up. I mean, every single tick, it was like, that's two contracts, and each tick was worth like $50. So, and this thing ticked up like, 100 ticks. It's craziness. But you can also lose a lot if it goes the other way. You see what I'm saying? You can get margin call real quick.
You gotta cash out on that
You
shit.
have to have a bankroll to really trade futures, and I don't even play, like I only play futures in my long term account, and I've been building my long term account since I was 16. So I have a lot of like, maybe it's not a lot of cash, but they can use my stocks as a
It's collateral.
as collateral, as leverage, right? So I don't like doing it, but so far, as of this day, I've only lost on one futures trade, and it's because there is no time decay. As long as I hold on to it and I believe in what I initially thought, and maybe even scale in a little bit, I've only lost on one trade uh, on futures.
That's
I've
not
only
bad.
that yeah, it's crazy because I'm able to hold it. Time decay doesn't come; it doesn't matter. So I don't know where these two goofballs went, man, but we were going to talk about. Well, we talked about the whole Trump assassination stuff. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a very political person, as everybody knows. I mean, I basically call them the Crips and Bloods. I mean, that's what they are to me anyway.
Yeah, that shit doesn't
I mean,
matter, bro.
I vote for myself every year. When I do vote, I vote for myself anyway. But at the end of the day, like we were talking about, because Cheeseburger, he's real, anti MAGA. And me and TooWoke don't have an iron in the fire at all.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I think that I just think it's a big puppet show. And
yeah,
I think that obviously that these big decisions that are taking place are obviously taking place like behind the curtains by people with money. That's how this shit goes. It's politics. And anyways, we were getting into that, and they were asking, they both think that Kamala's gonna win, and I was like, well, I don't have an iron in this fire, but if you're gonna ask me what I think, I went with Trump. I don't know why. It doesn't
yeah,
matter to me, but I went with Trump as like my guess, not as my vote, as my
yeah. I
guess.
think you could gauge from social media who's going to win, but I don't think Trump is winning this time, bro. Like I thought at first, I thought that because of what they're doing to him, like since he's the underdog, people would like show up to vote for him and shit. But I don't know. Like I think Kamala's going to have him beat. I think like
Well,
marketing wise,
look, Kamala could, dude.
it's just like
I kid you not, Kamala's got a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, she has a shot. And look, I'm not taking anything away from anybody. Like I said, I don't have an iron in this fire, dude. You know what? The only reason I care or watch these silly comical debates and shit like that, it's just I just want to see how the market reacts to it. That's all I
Yeah.
care about. I mean, that's
Yeah.
all I care about, bro. So, anyways, I mean, what do you think? Who you leaning towards? Not who you like, but who you honestly
I
think
think
might take
I
it.
think it's gonna be. I think Blue's gonna win this song.
Who? Kamala?
Yeah, yeah, she's
I
taking
and
it.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I mean, even Tuwoke at first, back
Yeah,
in July, he was very like, "Nah, there's no way Trump's." And then like, didn't take it very long for him to call me and be like, "Dude, I think I got to retract that statement on that podcast." He's like, "I don't know." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's just like, "I don't know, dude. I
but
just
what happened in July was that when he got the
what."
he tried to
No, well,
assassinate.
no. So we had a podcast after. So it was after the first that debate with Biden, and it was
Yeah,
after the first Trump assassination.
yeah, that's like that
That
kind.
was
I thought,
like that was his like peak, right? So we were very, and Cheeseburger Adam over there, and anyways, again, I don't have an iron in the fire, but he asked on that episode, he's like, "Oh, who do you think?" And me and Two Oak were both like, "Oh, Trump for sure." But now that's flipped. At least with Tua, for me, I don't know, man. It's 50 fucking 50. It's a coin flip for me at this point. But I'm leaning more towards Trump taking it. I mean, like I don't fucking know, dude. I hate politics, bro. I hate politics. I can't stand that shit.
they'll play the same game, bro. Like
It's the puppet
especially
show. It's a puppet
people used to
show.
make a big deal about that vote and shit. I'm like, bro, that shouldn't really matter. Like,
Yeah.
I live in New York. My state votes blue. I already know what's going to
I mean,
happen.
I live in well, I currently live in Houston, and I mean, my state does not vote blue, but my city does.
Yeah, but your state always goes red. So it's,
Yeah, I mean, because it's fucking, dude, the fucking counties are giant counties, like outside of like the big cities, and it doesn't
yeah,
take many, there's not that many people in those counties, and so they all, you know what I mean?
it goes
So,
red. Or like
but,
gerrymandering.
but yeah, dude, I mean, Tech, yeah, Texas may one day. I don't know, dude. I don't even
It would
care.
take a lot. I think more people are moving there, so I can see maybe like a decade, 20
But
years
they're
from
all
now.
moving to Austin or like Houston. I mean, the bigger cities where they're blue anyway.
Yeah, but you got to think if you're moving out there from up here, they're going to want to start investing in shit into the smaller, like the smaller counties and shit.
Hey man,
So
look, it could happen. I mean, I mean, I've seen it happen in plenty of other states. So
yeah,
who
yeah.
knows? But
I wouldn't be surprised.
anyways, I mean, we basically covered when you weren't here. Well, actually, no, we did cover it, the whole recession, indicators and all that. We talked about those pager bomb things that were going off, and
I
uh,
heard about that shit.
yeah, well, I didn't really know much about it, but Cheeseburger explained it, and well, you'll be able to catch up on it when I drop the episode. We did the Japanese yen carry trade, and I just made some notes here, and then kind of just like we ran over the stock market. My personal opinion, I don't care what anyone says. Not calling the top, not calling the top. But I did feel a mini rally was going to happen after that. But history does show it may take some time, but the cratering is coming. And one good point that I made that when I streamed that shit live yesterday, there was like 7 or 8 of us in there, and Robird, who's like, she's an older lady, but she definitely respects the shit out of me. Like anyway, she was like, I thought they were going to do 0.25. She's like, I'm shocked that you thought they were going to do 50. And I said, well, you want to hear my reasoning behind that? And she said, yeah, of course. And I said, well, if they did a 0.25 first and then they did a 50, that's going to spook everybody because they're going to think something's fucked up in the economy. So they're going to start with 0.5 and then maybe go 0.25, because if you go start small and then go big, it's meaning that something's cracking. And she
Yeah,
goes, oh, she's like, I never thought of it like that. Yada, 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 yada. But And then we got into the whole commercial real estate stuff. The only thing that we did not really touch on that I don't really care about, honestly, is the MLB playoffs, the Astros, and all that shit, because they're going back. You know, they're number one in this season. I don't know if you're an MLB fan. I'm not. I think it's one of the most boring games ever to watch.
I bet on
Uh,
that shit.
I mean, the only reason I ever follow it or even anything is when the Astros are in the playoffs. That's
It's
it.
better to go to the games. That's all.
Well,
Like you
yeah, I
go.
mean, going to the games, it's like being, it's like a thing to do. Like it's not, you're not even watching the game. I mean, there's some people are, but I can't sit and watch baseball on fucking TV, bro. It's like watching golf. It sucks. It's like watching paint dry. But well, since 2-0, where'd you go?
I just had to go get some formula ready and shit. My phone died again. I forgot to.
I had a feeling it was something like that. Nah, I just Adam's gone, or Cheeseburger gone. And I was just running Jay through just like basically everything we talked about before he got on, and then right before you hop back on, I was gonna say like because I met Jay through Andrea, this chick, but he got in my Discord man years ago, and then but you were there, but like you became way more involved like a year ago or something. Like
Yeah,
you were
for
always
sure.
in it, but like but that was when it was still like Bag Boys. You know, that
Yeah.
was when it wasn't even like a company or whatever. But what I was getting at is you know, I like to make music. I've been doing it for a long time. Um, and then me and Jay just started kind of talking. And man, so Jay Two Oak's the one who actually found that sample, the lollipops, the naked when you come. He's the one who shared that to years ago. And then I showed it to Jay and he fucking I I sent it to you. You heard that shit.
Yeah. It was dope.
Yeah, no, that was a great way. You sampled that. Yeah, you sampled that really well.
I
And,
appreciate that.
yeah, and I got a couple others that I'm still working on for you. And but I gotta say, hands down though, bro, like still the number one jam so far, in my opinion, that I've heard of yours is I don't exactly know how to pronounce the name. It's the
Houston
bitches be
playlist.
choosing. Yeah, yeah. Wait. What is it? What is it called?
Houston playlist. I'm gonna put in parentheses choosing, so just make it
Yeah,
easy.
choosing. Yeah, Tuok, I sent you that song. You killed it on that, bro. That was just so good. That's such a good one. Actually, that'll probably be the outro song for this episode.
I've
But
been
yeah,
working on.
I know you sent me some other shit. I was listening to it too. I just been busy and haven't got a chance to like give any feedback. But yeah, dude, he went to Japan, bro, and made like music videos and shit too.
Yeah,
Nice, man. That's what's up.
How long were you out there?
yeah. I'll go for like a couple days and I'll come back.
Just to Japan? Like that's so crazy. That's wild.
Like, it's
When you sent me that, I was like, wait, is that you in Japan, bro? Like, what the fuck?
I should have. I wanted to do more with that video, but like budget wise, I was like, I didn't have it, so I was like, fuck, let me do what I can. But that shit came out pretty good. Like,
What made you go, what was up with Japan now? Like, what was going on out there?
I just wanted to go, so I went back in like 2021, 2022, some shit like that for Halloween. Went for
I've
Halloween.
never been, man. I want to go so bad.
Then I went for New Year's and shit, and then I think I went again after that. Nah, I went for New Year's and then I chilled. I ain't go out there for like a while, I think. Then I went back in February to do the video and shit. But my boy travels a lot, so he's like, yo, you should just come to Japan, bro. So y'all just went. That shit was lit.
That's tight. I've always wanted to go there, bro. It's like one of the top places that I want to go
So
visit. So I'm gonna definitely go check it out.
it's like spiritual over there. It's like going over there is like a spiritual fucking experience because it's just so different. Like
And their
I feel like
food and stuff though, like it's
people,
crazy.
yeah,
Like really all sorts of yeah, man. Like yeah.
everybody's so like well mannered and shit like that. Like it's not like I feel like especially being in New York, I feel like everybody's like overly aggressive and shit. Like I feel like in New York, I always feel like I gotta like walking down the street, I might have to fight somebody or some shit for like no reason at all.
Go get a chopped cheese from the bodega.
bro. Somebody just looking at you a certain way, some shit. Just like, it's probably because it's like overly populated and everybody here is like broken shit.
Yeah, well,
I'll say, not
and
saying
there's
that.
all them damn migrants they got in there too. I know y'all been having that issue.
Yeah, New York is just fucking different. Like, I don't know, bro. I've been out here like majority of my life, and this is like the
But
first time I feel like I might actually have to be like strapped up out here, just like walking down the fucking block. I'm like, yo, nah.
oh,
Is that
really?
is that
It's that
because of the
bad?
migrants, or is that just because of just
Just
like
in,
what
just in,
crime has become?
yeah, just in general, bro. Like on the trains and shit. Like the trains have always been kind of bad, but you would see like maybe one like homeless person like on a cart, like per train. Now,
Oh
bro,
yeah, no, I remember. I mean,
that's like,
I've been there. I've seen that. Yeah.
but now you might have like two or three in one cart
Yeah,
and just
shit.
like sleeping on a train, just chilling. It's like, bro, this shit's never been this bad.
I mean,
This shit,
Yeah.
fuck, dude. Especially when it's cold out, dude. If they got nowhere to go, I mean, what? That's
I'm not
that.
even by the migrants, bro. I don't see the migrants unless I go into the city, but I've heard stories and shit.
No,
And
I've
they
watched a lot of YouTube videos, not from like news channels, like, but from like literally like legitimate,
like,
like, yeah, guys like a guy who like lives in New York and like documents this shit. Like, it's kind of
I've heard
crazy.
that shit is crazy. They're not on my side of town. Like I have to go. I have to go into the city to see that shit. And I
Yeah,
did go to the city a while back, and I was like, "Yo, bro, this shit is different." Like I don't remember it being like this. It's just
it's different, dude. I mean, there, I don't know what the number is. What is it, like 30,000 or something migrants or some
Oh,
crazy
I think it was
number?
more than that, but
Yeah,
that dude,
yeah.
the fucking mayor of New York is a fucking nut job, bro.
bro,
That fool's a fucking
yo,
crazy.
Dude, when he fucking the whole thing with the trash cans on the sidewalk thing,
but
like
not. But yo, I was talking to my
they
coworkers
they're
about
like
this,
gonna spend like millions of dollars. It was
bro.
like, dude, wait,
Yo,
now it's
that's what I was talking.
2024 and now you figure it out? Like
Yeah,
what?
but no, honestly, no mayor has done that. And I was talking to my coworkers about this shit, and they're like, "Yo, trash cans." I'm like, "Yo, bro, y'all go to the city." Like there's literally rats everywhere, bro. Like, and you could walk down the block and you'll see like 50 garbage bags on the side of the street. Like people are making fun of that shit, but that was kind of necessary. Yeah, he's just fucks around a lot, bro. I saw that
He's
shit,
fucking
bro.
crazy, dude.
But I'll be looking at it. I'm like, okay, this guy, he just has more. I feel like because he's more laid back, and has like a different personality than the other mayors. People look at him kind of differently, but they all do the same shit, bro. Like Giuliani got caught up in some whole shit with Trump, and he was mayor for like what 8 years. Bloomberg,
Oh,
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure
yeah.
Bloomberg, like, yeah,
Yeah, he was
but
just like a heavy on. He was like the heavy on crime guy.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know anything about the dude's policies. I just mean in general, he's fucking crazy.
I think
Like in his personal life, I think he's just like you meet the guy, he's just fucking, and like literally insane. Um, but yeah, I mean, no, I mean, no, but you're right. There's always rats in fucking New York, man.
and the feds own that guy now too. They don't have nothing on him, but his people, they've
Well,
been they found some shit on them. And one of those people, one of my boys has he had like a juice slash lounge in Coney Island,
uh,
and the cops was like fucking with him over there and shit.
oh damn.
And one of the people that they told him they was like, yo, just call this guy and like we'll leave you alone. And the guy that they asked him to speak, they asked him to call, ended up asking him for some bread, like trying to like kind of like extort
Extort him. Yeah.
him. So that guy that was trying to extort him is like related to like I think he might be related to like the police commissioner or some shit like that. He's like his brother.
Okay.
And then I think the feds raided both of their cribs or some shit like that.
Nice. Yeah, I mean that sounds like some fucking old school New York hustle going on, man.
Yeah,
It's just like nowadays they gotta be a little more slick with that shit than that. Like
yeah, because people definitely putting you out, especially all the social media shit. Like you can't. You,
exactly, dude. Exactly. But yeah, man, New York. I haven't been to New York in a fucking very long time, but I always enjoyed it there. But it's one of those places I like to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. You know what I
it's
mean?
just
Like,
like I say this, but New York is like it's fun. Like
yeah, yeah. No, I mean that's what's so great about it. I mean, it's like it's an international ass city. Anything you want is there. You know what I mean? Like, and then there's always something live going on. It's never boring. You know?
What y'all talking about, New York?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I
yeah,
love New York, man. You know what? I was actually March of 2021. I was there and I was on top of the World Trade Centers. That was 6 months before they fell. It's crazy.
Huh?
Nice.
I mean, I've just been there a bunch of times. It's probably my favorite city in the world, or in the country at least.
Yeah,
It's
it's
dope.
good, bro. I mean,
It's just expensive, but it's dope as shit.
it's the best. I want to say I don't even want to say it's the best city in the world, but like,
Well, I did. Okay, but it's one of my favorite cities in America. Okay, it is
exactly.
because I'll tell you what. I mean, like, you definitely need to come down to H Town, kick it with your boy, make some music. But Houston's
Yeah,
cool and shit
you
when you
gotta,
come and visit. But when
you
you
gotta.
fucking live here, it fucking sucks. It sucks. And Two Oak knows exactly what I'm talking about.
I mean, I don't live there anymore for a reason.
I know,
What's so bad about it?
dude.
It's
When you
just a
go,
concrete jungle of
it's
shit,
like
dude.
it's
I mean,
you been to LA?
Yeah,
It's like it's very similar to LA, not like the people, but like the setup of the city. It's giant,
LA with
spread
shitty
out.
weather.
Yeah, it's like LA with shitty weather and flat. There's freeways, there's traffic, there's big, it's the most comparable city to LA that I can actually even think of. It just doesn't have
Before
the
a big city, people are about as laid back as you can get for a city of that size. Like it is pretty crazy how like, and it's changing in that regard. But it's like
Houston is
it's
look
always had a little bit of a laid back
when you
attitude.
grow up here and you stay here, or you move, but you come back and you stay here. I mean, bro, like me and Tuo, I mean, I like a lot of our friends are no longer they're either in jail or they are dead through either being murdered, drug overdoses. I mean, you fucking name it, and just there's just a I just it's just there's a negative this feel. I don't know how to explain it. The city is cool when you, especially if you don't live here and you come back and visit, and the food, my God, the food is insane.
The food is the best in the world. People
It's
don't realize that.
so good. I mean, you anything you want, and it's like, yeah, it's dang, bro.
Yeah, it's even more eclectic food than New York. It's just not all of it's not so close together like New York City, but
Yeah,
the
like you
food is
have to
the best in the
drive.
world.
You got to have a car in H Town, or you're pretty much
Yeah.
fucked. Straight up.
But yeah, by far
Good
I've
luck
traveled
taking the public transit. And I tell
I've
you
been
what.
lucky enough to travel a lot of the globe, dude, and nowhere comes close to H Town as far as like what you want, we can go get it. Like we
Yeah,
can get anything you want.
best some of the
And
barbecue. I mean, seafood. You get some of the best Asian food, Indian foods.
any Asian, any
I mean,
style of
a
Asian,
lot of cities have all that shit. I'm just saying it's the most diverse city in the country.
uh,
That
yeah.
is a fact.
Most cities don't have options like that though of every food. Like they might have one Indian spot or a couple dope ones, but it's
Uh,
like
New York definitely does.
I love, yeah, they do, but still not as much, dude. Houston is more diverse than just about anywhere, bro. Like it's
No,
crazy how
it
diverse
is.
Houston is.
But the good point is it's super spread out. So,
Yeah,
you can't just take a subway to Chinatown. It ain't gonna work. I mean,
yeah.
but other than that, I mean, it just, I don't know, man. You,
I could go
growing
for
up
some
here,
fucking Tex-Mex right now, bro.
some
That would be awesome.
somewhat.
Tex-Mex, bro. I just want some enchiladas
Yeah,
and some
bro. El
motherfucking fajitas.
Tiempo's, dude. El Tiempo's filet mignon fajitas are still my number one pick of all time, bro. So
Yeah,
goddamn
man.
good. Filet mignon fajitas, dog. Those things melt in your mouth. Oh my God. I haven't had those in a while. Um, but yeah, man. I mean, I
so
didn't, I don't. I'm out of topics. I'm glad. I mean, I don't unless anybody else has got anything they want to speak on. I just had to go grab another beer because as soon as we cut this,
I'm just gonna. I just want to. I just pretty much. I still
Modelo,
think.
baby, yeah.
I think going forward, still the way to make money right now, like easy money, is gonna be just like is gonna be bonds and currency. Those are the two places that are gonna have the most swings that don't historically have swings. So it's like right now, I think that's the place to keep the eyes on and just play the not sexy stuff. You know what I mean? Usually that's not the sexy play, but right now it is, man.
I gotta look into
It's
this.
just it's a little difficult to get into some of those types of plays if you're outside of the futures market. I mean, yes,
No, I mean there's TLT and there's
TLT, but TLT on a normal day, a normal
Oop,
week,
I gotta go, baby's
doesn't
up.
really fucking move.
They
Like
even
that.
trade
Well,
people on Robinhood? Or is that strictly on like Webull and shit like that?
Wait, what?
DOT, can you trade that on Robinhood or is it like strictly on Webull and shit?
No, TLT you can trade it on Robinhood. You can trade it on anything. It's
Right.
yeah. No, TLT is the 20+ year bond ETF. So basically, it's like getting exposure to the 20-year bond without having to own the fucking bond.
Oh, that shit is.
And then there's SHY shy or HYG.
No,
Those
I
are,
should be clear this. These fucking
but they
con
move slow, bro. They move very slow unless some kind of event or something happens. We lost TooWoke again, but whatever. It's all good. But no, man, I'm glad you made it to the show. I'm trying to rebring this thing back, man, because when this thing was Tiz Talk podcast, from 2019 to 2022. I mean, shit, TooWoke was my co-host, and we'd have guests, but we'd do shows, once, at least twice a week, sometimes 35,000 subscribers.
oh,
So on the audio, though, we started doing the YouTube shit like late night. It was really hard to get a lot of people to get to the YouTube. So at least I know when I put this out on like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, this shit gets listed. I didn't start this new. I just changed the name.
yeah.
From
Your
Tiz
numbers
Talk.
look like they're going up though. You went from like 48 you to
Yeah,
like
they are, but I also have a Bag Brigade podcast YouTube channel too. I have that and the Bag Brigade Financial, but all the podcasts are also in the Bag Brigade Financial one too. Like, so you can find them anywhere. But yeah, man. I mean, that's basically the story of the Tiz Talk podcast and how this all became about. Man, it's just crazy to think that I started the Bag Boys Discord server about 4 years ago with like 5 people. Uh, Out of all those people, it would be Gammonomics, me, Whoop, Drank, and then this other dude named DJ, and this other guy, Ghost Recon. They're still in there, but Drank's not active, DJ not active, Ghost Recon is sometimes, but usually it's Gammonomics and then Whoop, and from there it just kind of organically grew, and then I think it was in December of last year I decided to turn this into a real thing, and I gotta say, bro, it's crazy. Like the amount of shit I, deal with, like just from spamming and scamming to people wanting like on through LinkedIn or Twitter or just through Discord itself, like trying to link up. And I can tell when someone's genuine or when they're a scammer or spammer very easily.
yeah.
And actually, that's how that algo came about, And I got another algo that's coming out soon. I can't speak too much on it right now, but I've mentioned it in the server, the crypto predictor thing. Well, it's going to be applied to SPY and things like that. I just got off the phone with the technician who owns the technology and all that. So right before we did this podcast, and so he was getting some information from me so he could start running some back test on the New York Stock Exchange. Is all right now. It only runs on Ethereum and Bitcoin, but it's fucking every time I tried it, it was 100% accurate.
For the algo?
It's not well, it's an algo, but it's a predictor. It's weird how to explain it. I don't know if I should say too much about it on this. I could tell you
Every
personally.
bro, if it's 100% every time and
It
you say
is. Nothing's 100%, but like
that's that
let me put it this way. I'll tell you about it in person. I don't want to say too much because I don't want, you know what I mean? Because this could be big, and I don't want to
yeah,
piss anybody off. So, but regardless, I'm telling you, I back tested it myself. I mean, and I live tested it
did
with.
they run it on Solana too? Or was it just
It can run on anything. It just
alright,
it, they just it, the person who designed it just needs the back date, like data from the past to be able to kind of code this thing. in a certain way. So I don't. Yeah. So, anyways, I was talking to him, and and I said, man, if you could get this thing to run on the New York Stock Exchange, like, or be able to do SPY or QQQ or anything like that, like, bro, that'd be insane. I could really push the product, like, for
Yeah.
sure. So I'll tell you in person a little bit more about it. I don't want to say too
No,
much more, but yeah, man. I mean, I guess. I mean, I mean, you got what's up with your music, man? You got what's coming out. I mean, I know you.
uh,
I know you be sending me stuff all the times. I see some stuff
yeah,
on Instagram, but I know you finally dropped the choosing song. I know that.
yeah. All that shit that I'm like, the shit that I'm previewing on the IG right now, I'm probably gonna put it on like a project down the line. So I'm like working through a lot of shit, but I'm just like a lot of rough drafts. I just finished one song today. I finished another one like last week, and I
Like
started
when
like
you say you finished a song, like you finished the beat, or you actually finished like
I
the
finished
beat
like a
and the
whole record.
vocals and everything.
Yeah, like it's been a minute since I've done like a 3 verse like song, but I just did one of those shits today. So yeah,
That's what I'm talking about, bro. No,
yeah,
I have in my catalog. I probably have 500 unfinished beats for
yeah,
like over the past like 4 years, just because like I'll move on to the like I just get you know what I mean like but
yeah.
no
That shit not.
I like the critique that you give me. It's just it's so much different building a song out like from intro to verse to bridge to chorus to verse
Yeah,
to without being with the artist. In my
yeah,
opinion, I mean, I do struggle with that, like, because I'll think something sounds tight, but then it's like, shit. I mean, I got to resequence the whole goddamn thing, to make it really work. You know what I mean. And you've critiqued me on it, and I've tried to, be better about it. So I'm working on it. But I got some stuff
I'm,
I'll be sending you for
I'm
sure.
like a I'm like a melody guy for the most part. So like, cause I think melodies carry records. Like a melody can make or break a record. Like for me.
I think melody is the most important part. I usually well, I'll either start with a drum pattern just to get some beat going and then throw a melody over it, or sometimes I might just start with the melody and then just pick drums after. I mean, it just depends on what I'm doing. I'll be like I told you, I downloaded like fucking 150 rack extensions and loop packs the other day. It's like now I don't even know what to do with all these things, bro. There's so many things that like I don't even.
I mean,
I was on a rampage, dude. I don't even know what I was doing. Why? They were all free.
yeah,
Uh, some of them suck, but yeah, no, I mean, I don't really got much else to say. All I got to say is that let's definitely. Sorry, my bad. The other night,
nah,
female got in
bro.
the way, and I could not get the fuck off the phone, and I was just like, damn it. Anyways, we got to start doing some more, share screen collabs and stuff, work together because it'll really help me at least structure the fucking song the right way.
Yeah. We can knock out a whole project, bro. Like go
Yeah,
both.
dude, I'm telling you, bro. Like I ain't talked to Cuddy in a minute. I barely even talked to Bumby. I don't even know, bro. I don't care. I mean, dude, that shit was just that was a just to be able to work with these types of people
Kind of crazy.
is a blessing. It is what it is. But like, I mean, dude, you got talent. You got the voice. You know how to produce. I mean, you know how to master. Like, I mean, that's basically what I do. Sometimes I can throw in some verses here and there. The Jewish wizard that my rhymes right to the left, but like I yeah, we got to collab, man. I want to make because like as soon as we get off with this, I'm not editing this tonight. I'm going straight to just making some music.
Yeah, I'm probably doing the same for like 30 minutes. I'm gonna try to get some sleep.
Oh
I
yeah,
gotta.
shit. Oh yeah, you're an hour ahead. Shit. Yeah, well, it's 10:30 here. Yeah, I mean, I gotta get up early for the fucking market, dude. Oh, I mean, in 30 minutes, the damn Bank of Japan's about to make a decision. So the fuck futures markets might go crazy. I don't know.
That shit 24/7, right?
Futures, no, futures do not run on the weekends, and they run basically 23 hours a day. So they go from 5 p.m. your time all the way until 4 p.m. your time. There's a 1 hour break. Commodity futures are different, but like like your S&P, like your ES, NQs, like things like that. Those are 23 5. 23 5.
I'm gonna look into that shit, bro. But I'm gonna just stick.
Well, I have a whole tutorial video I made on YouTube for you guys on how to paper trade
I'm
options on fucking
gonna stick,
Thinkorswim.
let's stick with options. I'm good with options too. I
No,
just
I
don't.
mean, me too. I will always trade options. I feel like I graduated. I finally graduated to futures after all this time. I've been trading fucking options for like 7 years.
Crazy.
Lost like 60 grand in year one. Most people would have quit. I
Yeah,
didn't.
I
I
stick
kept
with that.
kept going. Um, but yeah, I have a whole tutorial on how to do it on Thinkorswim, paper trade on Thinkorswim. I mean, you can do it on
Yeah,
Weeble.
I got
Weeble
this.
has it.
Yeah,
Weeble has it now.
I got to set up on Weeble and shit. But
Yeah, Weeble has paper trading features too. I mean, I just
like it's like a discipline thing. So if I don't have the discipline to just like take profit when I should on options, then I'll probably fuck
here.
that shit up.
Well, here's the thing with futures: you have to use stop losses.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's the one. I don't use stop losses on options, but on futures, you fucking have to.
yeah,
Because if it goes, I'm telling you, it could go against you real fast. But I mean, a couple of ticks, and you're holding a couple of contracts that could cost you a couple grand.
that's crazy, bro.
It's
I'm looking.
wild, but it depends on what you're trading. They're all different. But,
Yeah,
well, anyways, I'll say this: we'll go ahead and get ready to end this thing. And what I usually like to do is just, and I usually say the same fucking thing every time, kind of give our little peace outs or whatever. But I'll start it and you can kind of just run off like whatever. But I just want to appreciate, first of all, you, J-Prez, El Presidente, for hopping on for the first time. Um, gonna be super stoked to continue to work with you on the music side and just trading and all this stuff. And I'm glad Two Woke was able to make it. He usually makes every show. He's got a baby now, so it's like he has to kind of just dip out.
you guys call him Cheeseburger because of his last name.
Well, kind of, yeah. His last name's Lichtenberger, so we used to call him.
Yeah,
Dude, I've known Two Woke for 20 years. I've known Adam Cheeseburger for probably 25, 30. So I've
yeah,
known these guys for a long time. And I mean, Lichtenberger, we used to call him Chicken Burger. We used to call him all sorts, like in middle school, like Lick Tin Boogers, like, dude, just stupid shit like that. Like, I mean, dude, my nicknames went from Tay Tay, which that was the one that stuck for years. And finally that kind of dissolved and it turned into Chuck. Chuck Taylor, Chuck too. Like, dude, nobody on fuck Discord knows my dude. It's Chuck Boomberg, baby. It's Chuck Taylor over here. Like, they don't call me Taylor, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they just don't. But yeah, like, I mean, Tay Tay was one. I don't even remember all the other ones, but yeah, man, I've known those guys forever, and just crazy, like, just to still be in contact and like do that, especially Tuo, because Tuo's my boy. I mean,
yeah.
I talk to him probably fucking 5 times on the phone every single day. Oh, you see what's going on with Platinum Futures right now? Let's start going on. I'm like, bro, I'm busy running a server right now with fucking scammers and spammers, and my options are getting killed. Like, no, I'm not looking at Platinum Futures right now. But no, anyways, like what I was saying is appreciate everybody who's listening or watching this show. This will be actually the third episode of the Bag Brigade podcast. I don't know what episode of the entire Tiz Talk Bag Brigade Legacy it is, but I'd probably say it's somewhere near this in the 70th episode or whatever total. You can always go back to Apple Podcast, Spotify, or YouTube, and every episode is posted all the way back from the beginning. But with that being said, I just want to thank you again, Jay, Two Woke, Cheeseburger, and everybody who's listening and watching. And I'm going to leave you guys with this. This is what I always say. Well, actually, I usually say two things, but let me say the first thing first, and I'll think if I want to say the second thing. Chuck Boomberg does not ask why, ever. He asks why not. Get it? Why not? Why the fuck not? I could go into the second one. Actually, I'll do it just for you since you're here. I think people get really. I think they're sick of this one already. Holler at the Tiz for honor, to getting honor, to staying honor. Hey, If you can't come in her, come on her.
Yo,
I
all right.
know that was I've been saying that for years on this show. But yeah, man, what you got to say to the peeps? Or you don't got to say much, man. I mean, that's just kind of
I
usually how I
gotta
end
say,
it.
it's been real. Thanks for having me on the show, and I look forward to work.
Come on. You're always welcome, man. You're always. I love having any guest, and I can fit 10 people on this damn thing. You know what I mean? If I had, that'd get chaotic as hell. But I think 4 is like the max.
That's it. Yeah, 4 is maybe 3. Not
Usually it's 3. Usually it's me and Two Oak and one other.
yeah,
Sometimes sometimes it's me and Two Oak. Sometimes we'll have 4. I mean, it depends, but
yeah. 3 is
yeah.
like perfect, but
Yeah,
4 is
three is ideal for this situation. 4 can get chaotic. Any more than that, it's just like, what are you doing?
yeah,
But yeah, man, no, I'm glad you hopped on, man. Definitely want to have you back on the show. And looking forward to, you know, waking up to NVIDIA being, sky high.
yeah. I'm out that shit, so hopefully for you, like,
Oh, you got out. That's right.
I'm
Yeah,
not,
that's
I'm out that shit. I was pissed. I always be.
uh,
I'm gonna just start selling like go for it, fuck all that
I
shit.
know, dude. We both fucked up. I mean, I should have sold it. I don't even want to think about it.
I,
Like,
I,
it's so stupid. It's like I was up like 60% and I like didn't sell.
I just
Like
got out great.
immediately, like in 3 minutes.
Yeah, I saw that shit.
And then I was like, God damn it. But whatever. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna let you go. Appreciate you being on the show. Bad Brigade fam. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know when the next episode will be, but it will be it'll be in the next couple weeks, maybe next week. I don't know. If you are part of the Bag Brigade, you know where to find us in the server. I'll drop all the links and all the description, everything in the video. You can find the Discord. You can go to the webpage. You can, all the Twitters and everything. And I'll put your handles out there for you. If you want to say them verbally, go for it. If you want to go ahead and do that, but I'll make sure I put them out there too, though, on the
Oh yeah,
description.
J for Prez on Twitter, JAYM_R on Instagram. And I'll holla at y'all later, man. It's been real.
Yes, sir. All
Thanks for
right.
having me.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on. Good seeing you. And you have a good night. Later later, Back Brigade fam. Peace.
I ain't finna tell y'all how Rock got away with this shit.
Yeah, yeah.
We ain't got no.
No, I'm a New York nigga. I be down south and shit, feel me?
We ain't got no top. Cruising in the drop. All the bitches gon' flock.
Yeah.
When we spin the block. Know them girls choose.
Know them hoes shoes.
Said you know them girls choose.
Know them, yeah. Puffin' on a joint with no grab in it. Straight smoke for you blows, this that lava in it. Rollin' with my niggas and they might get it. And we got them foreigns with that push to start ignition. Porsches and shit. This ain't even pimpin', it's some player shit. You know I keep it G, I don't even gotta pay it, bitch. There's some niggas out here that's on some hating shit. See them outside, they just got up the pace and shit. It's cool. It ain't my fault, bro. Nah. Just make sure the weed louder than an exhaust, bro. Cold pipe, cold heart for the bro code. Hard as hell.